I think there's some misconceptions here about FTX. People are referring to it as an exchange, but it's not an exchange. I mean, it's like a brokerage firm or a bank that was holding customers' monies, and they were basically siphoning it off. He was using it as his own personal piggy bank, Sam Bankman-Fried. So people deposit their money in FTX because they want to trade, like any brokerage firm. It would be the equivalent of like you going to JP Morgan, right? To Chase, right? And you deposit your money in your Chase bank account, and then you find out that actually Jamie Dimon has been taking your money personally and going to Las Vegas and gambling on the weekends because, your money, his money, what's the difference? So that's what was really happening. He was just using all of these funds that people were depositing in the brokerage firm, FTX, which is really a brokerage firm, and then using it as his own personal piggy bank. They bought condos, whatever else they bought. They're gambling on wild derivative trading, right? So they're leveraging to the hilt. So had to end badly, and it was definitely a fraud from the start.
It's a very, very tough industry right now because it's really literally like the Wild West. It's in desperate need of regulation, desperate need of the SEC or some body to step in here and bring at least some level of order to the chaos. Even after they do that, there'll still be fraud. There always is in every market, but still it's literally the Wild West right now. It's like Tombstone, Arizona out there. I don't think it's just FTX. No, it's hard to say. Listen, when someone is committing fraud, like they were committing fraud there, clearly, I'm comfortable saying that right now at this point, that they were commingling funds without telling customers, which is blatant fraud, prima facie fraud, right? And I don't see any way he can say he wasn't aware of it. It was like done purposely to shore up the balance sheet of Alameda, which was bleeding cash, right? So the question really is how many bad actors are there at exchange? You don't know. You just don't know. And that's why people are saying, prove that you have your reserves. The only exception, I would say, is probably Coinbase as a, listed reports to the SEC. I'd be shocked to find out that Coinbase was insolvent. I mean, that would be really shocking to me. But these ones that are offshore, they don't report. There's no way of knowing what they're actually doing. This is a huge problem right now in the whole crypto world. So whether it's just FTX or it's many of them, I'm sure there's more.
Welcome everybody to 4 days until Christmas. I'm Chris here with Joe at Network Bits. What are you laughing at?
You don't know how to run a stream.
What did I do wrong?
You would have went to a blank page.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't add us in. It's all right. It's not like we have anyone watching. It's cool.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I guess we should wait a little bit for some people to come in. We've made our announcements.
What are our topics for tonight?
I like the idea of Bitcoin versus Litecoin. Why? What was the purpose for bringing that up? I want to hear your thoughts behind that.
I just reading into it a little bit, and basically it comes down to a lot of people look at Bitcoin as a speculative asset and doesn't really have the transaction throughput to support live spending, real-time transactions for the masses as of right now. Well, I'm not sure that will change as we don't know how much of the architecture, at least I don't know how much of the architecture the current developers of Bitcoin actually have access to, what they're able to change. But Litecoin does have that throughput. They do somewhat. They're sort of there. Beyond Bitcoin, certainly. But some people call it the silver to the gold. It's a chance it's still a speculative asset, but it is almost as widely known as Bitcoin. At least it's the runner-up. I mean, if you were to ask someone, okay, what crypto do you know aside from Bitcoin? What are they going to tell you? Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin.
Yeah,
that's about it. So that being said, will Litecoin? I think it's the sleeping giant. I think there is a lot of potential in Litecoin. However, if you look at the trend of the price, it seems you could say maybe more stable, but certainly doesn't fluctuate in the manner that Bitcoin has. The previous all-time high in 2021 was heads and shoulders above the all-time high you seen in 2018, but it wasn't waist, heads and shoulders, or whatever, head, shoulders, and waist above the previous all-time high, like you seen with Bitcoin. It was only about $100 more, and grand scheme of things, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm
Few
checking
my
it out.
points.
Yeah, Litecoin was like back in 2017 when I first got into it. It was Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So it's definitely
Yep.
like one of the most well-known runner-ups. I mean, Ethereum is probably. I bet there's miners out there and stuff that don't know what Litecoin is. Like people that are GPU mining, which is just crazy because it was so huge back in the day. But the difference with Litecoin versus Bitcoin and Ethereum is the algorithm it's using. It's using script, which is not very well known. The only other major coins to use it are Dogecoin and a lot of the up and coming projects that are coming out. They're using script. So those are mostly ASIC mineable coins. You can't really mine those on GPUs.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, there's also, a little bit of a barrier for some people. They might just stay away from Litecoin strictly because it's the special coin and it's
Are you talking about mining in particular or mass
yeah,
adoption?
just
Because
mining.
mass adoption, I think we've already seen
Yeah.
at least a lot of these companies that accept Bitcoin currently as payment also accept Litecoin.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Litecoin is like always tied with Bitcoin. If you see Litecoin, Bitcoin is always going to be there on a website for the most part. It's weird though. I mean, so if like Dogecoin can get adopted, and that's a script coin, all this stuff, and it has mass adoption, I think Litecoin can very easily follow in its footsteps. And Litecoin is, it has a better footing than Dogecoin, just being a meme. But if I'm looking right now, Dogecoin has a $5 million larger market cap. Sorry, $5 billion larger market cap compared to Litecoin, which is just insane. Litecoin has fallen all the way down to number 14th on CoinMarketCap. It's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Where are all the people, Joe?
I'm not sure. I put the word out. I tagged everyone.
Nobody's joining.
We'll
That's
see
weird.
some people coming in.
It's Wednesday night, middle of the week, Christmas. Makes sense. Some people might be busy. Let's look at the other topics that we did have that we wrote about.
So we do have Web3 decentralization. We have all things Web3, NFTs, decentralized hosting, the decentralized, I guess, self-owned identity,
What's up,
IoT.
Default Trades? Welcome. IoT. Yeah, we can. We can just go down a list pretty much
Go
if you
for it.
would like to. You want to talk about NFTs? We've talked about NFTs before. NFTs are kind of dead right now. Down, I think 90% since January. And
I don't know about you, but all the NFT shills on my Twitter feed are still
that was very
shilling
funny.
and giving GMs to each other.
I saw your tweet. You said like, "Show me your crypto," and it was just like NFT, NFT, NFT. So there's still a bunch of projects that are trying to like get a grasp or get a footing on this. But I think it's like not a lot of people are actually successful. It seems like they're just spending money on advertising, and it's just not really launching. The ones that did launch though, that were successful, are still doing well. But Bored Apes, you can get them for under $1 million now, which is nice. So it's achievable now, Joe. We can get a Bored Ape NFT.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll have to buy one of those. These comments, man. Yeah, no effing tacos.
I
What
want to
P
actually
stands for.
see.
It's no effing tokens.
I want to see how much the Bored Apes are because that's like the.
I did credit. Well, I guess we're also going to talk about helium in the stream, of course. But I was giving Amir a hard time on Twitter because when the NFTs are minted, they're going to have the biggest NFT minting on Solana, and they're going to mint images of your hotspot, but it's basically that's going to be your
84,000.
proof of ownership of a hotspot. And you know that hotspots have the the three worded
Yeah,
names.
and there's going to
They're
be doubles.
you know, an adjective, a color, and an animal. So there's going to be that image generated, and that's going to be part of the NFT. And I just said, most people, they don't really understand NFTs and that they're actually, they might be because you have the technical information ingrained in them, the actual hotspot um, addresses and wallet address or whatever. You wouldn't have a wallet address, but the hotspot address itself. And although that makes it unique, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to appear that way to the majority of users who are kind of ignorant to the subject. And it's going to look like you minted two identical NFTs, and that's going to go over like a turd in the punch bowl publicly. But hey, what do I know? I get it. They're unique because of the address and whatever other hotspot information you're going to mint into them. But if someone sees two images that look alike that are minted NFTs, they're going to say, "Oh, this is an identical NFT," and I'm sure
Well,
you'll get a nice headline about that.
I surely hope it mints a different generative art piece, but it's probably
It
going to be
won't.
very
It's already
similar.
confirmed at least thus far.
Oh,
It
it's going to
might
be the same. If they're the same name, it's going to be the same image.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap, cheap helium, man. Yeah, I still have all this helium gear that I need to get rid of. So can't even. I don't even
This
know if I could sell it.
top market cap is killing me. We have what is Leo coin? Una said Leo.
Leo coin?
Yeah, it's number 19 in coin market cap.
Really? I've never heard of it. Do you mean Litecoin?
No,
Oh, Leo. Unis said
iFinex system.
I've never heard of
Oh,
this.
cryptocurrency allows Bitfinex users to save money on trading fees. The extent of this discount depends on how much Leo the customer
Oh,
has in their account. Yeah, another coin I'd stay away from personally. As always, none of this is financial advice. Be sure to consult with a trusted professional before acting on any of the information you may hear in this live stream, and do your own research.
Tannerite disposes of all things, even H&T Myers. Nice, nice. I'll consider it. Yeah, I'm not into that just yet, but we'll see. I got the GPS sensor on its way for Pi-Fi, so I can figure out how that works shortly. Hopefully, it will definitely not by the end of the week because Christmas shipping is all over the place. But Board 8 Yacht Club, you can actually buy for $88,000, so it is way more achievable than we once thought. I remember, I think they were going for like over $500,000, maybe $1 million at one time. Price of Ethereum's also come down. 69 ETH, it was worth $276,000 a couple months ago, but now it's worth like 80,000 or something. Crazy. It's still insane for an image with very little perks. Geek of all trades, what do you think? If you had to pick, and I think every single person is biased towards Bitcoin because it's like the first one and everything. But if you had to pick between Bitcoin and Litecoin for a majority of reasons, transaction speed, being able to handle like massive onload, stuff like that, which one would you pick? Make a raffle for 5 tickets one week. Yep.
Is that a question towards me?
This was towards people in the comments. You can also answer it if you want.
I just sent you a Twitter thread. There's
On
probably
Twitter?
a topic that we're going to, a topic that we can chat about. You said you started a poll?
Where did you send this Twitter thread?
Did you start a poll in the comments?
No, I did not. I just wanted to see what Geek of all trades. Where did you send the Twitter thread?
I didn't send it to the right person. That's all right. I sent it to someone who will appreciate it.
Oh, it's my fault also for not scrolling down.
But that's so, once again,
H&T is pumping?
yeah, it pumped pretty hard today.
Man, my internet is not holding up. I wonder if the purpose for that, where is helium, man? I don't even see it on the, I'm gonna have to search it.
Search
Come
what?
on here. I'm trying to find helium. It's not showing up. So Joe, I would honestly put my money on H&T pumping to get it back on the top 100.
Well, if you read the Twitter thread, someone
will
asked,
read it.
"Why is H&T pumping?" And there's several reasons why it listed in the comments. Article out listing H&T top 5 to overtake BTC. Don't know about that, but
Probably, yeah.
that will, factually, I don't think so, but that will garner attention and people will buy an H&T just because they've seen that news. Someone might be buying in anticipation of an event today. Someone else writes, which event? The validators from Healing Rising finally cooled down last night. I think at their peak, they had something like 93 validators. So they write, 930,000 H&T being released to respective owners. Someone writes exit liquidity before a crash. I don't know.
More
I
replies.
don't tend to believe that because supply and demand, but you really don't know how the market reacts as far as oracles and the centralized exchanges, because there tends to be manipulation, in my opinion. What was I going to look up here? I guess
It's so funny reading. Have you ever gone on CoinMarketCap and read the posts?
comments.
Yeah, it's just not a single person I've ever seen knows what they're talking about. So it's funny, but a lot of people, it's always flip flop. Some people are like helium is going to moon. Other people are like helium is it's dog, and selling it and everything. But if 93 or 930,000 H&T is released back into the market, able to be sold, you would think that the price would go down. And maybe what happened was at 8:45 a.m. this morning, it looks like, 8:30 to 8:45, there was a massive amount of volume, about $3 million in volume. And then if you go down to 9:55, 9 to 9:55, it was $8 million in 24-hour volume. So it spiked and then it crashed and then it
Talking
started to
about for
recover.
H&T.
Yeah, so I think maybe someone bought in and then a whole bunch of people sold because it went from having on average 1.6 million per 24 hours to 8 million, and now we're at 18 million in the past 20 million in the past 24 hours. What's up, Crypto Crag?
Crypto Craig.
Dream. Bitcoin to store value, but Litecoin as functional to move funds around. Yes, I like that. I think Bitcoin, just because of its ancestry, I think it's always going to be around. And Litecoin and all these other cryptocurrencies that are coming around are going to be more useful. Bitcoin seems more of an investment, not financial advice. Just got to say that. But Bitcoin seems more of an investment, especially with like JP Morgan, a bunch of large firms purchasing into it, 401ks, all this other stuff. Sounds like manipulation to me. Yes. I wonder if it's being talked about in the Helium server. Joe, do you have access?
No, I do not. Otherwise, I'd look there. But
Oh,
they wouldn't talk about that
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
right.
against the rules. And I got some insight on why that's the case.
So people can't pump and dump.
It's because they specifically did not want HNT to be listed as a security. And from what I've heard is that during the entirety of the HNT life cycle, there was no effort to get HNT listed on any exchange whatsoever because the people inside of Helium, they did not want to deal with any sort of regulators, the exchanges, but really the SEC overall. And
Yeah.
it's understandable. I don't fault them for that. And to have the luxury of just allowing that to happen, allowing it
Naturally.
to happen naturally, that's probably the best way to go.
So Crypto.com and Binance added them on their own. Helium didn't add anything, or they didn't participate
Correct. They
in.
did not push
Oh,
anyone to have them add that to the exchange. It
because
just became so popular within that time period that they decided to add it themselves.
I've heard
And
so
then
many.
go ahead.
I've heard just so many times that it being added to Coinbase and all this stuff, and it never happened. So, oh my gosh, chump change! Thank you so much for more happy tissues and hand lotion. That's amazing. Thank you, chump change. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to call in, the link is at the top of the stream.
Welcome, Chump Change. Thanks for being here. Well, since we're talking about BTC versus LTC, we have Dogecoin with the maximum transaction per second of around 40, where Litecoin has 54 transactions per second. Now, whether that's actually realistic, either of them, for um, for real time utilization when it comes to making payments for the masses, I wouldn't say so. It doesn't even get close to like what Visa is able to offer, which we'll get to in a minute. I think that's something else you want to talk about.
I'm
However, um, short term, I think that would do pretty well, as both of them are very well known cryptocurrencies, very solid. They've been around, they've stood the test of time. So as we see this mass adoption, I think those will be the first out of the gate to be utilized. Bitcoin, of course, yes, we'll see utilization, but I think the public en masse will catch on to the fact that you could probably get a transaction through faster with one of the alternatives or even a stable coin
yeah,
versus
but I mean,
utilizing Bitcoin. And
if
as
you
they see it as Bitcoin as a speculative investment.
if you move over to stable coins, then what's kind of the point of crypto if it's just going to be back to the dollar? That's probably an argument some people can make.
But who wants to spend something that they think is going to moon?
Also true. So I think the way that stablecoins could just be better than normal currency is having their interest rates being well above the standard interest rates, and that's just because I think it's just because the volume. There's so much more volume moving, and it's all dependent on the exchanges. Like on BlockFi, rest in peace. BlockFi offered, I think 10 at one point 10 or 12% APY on USDC token versus a bank account. Right now, I'm getting 3%, and that's all.
Outrageous.
Right now, yeah, I'm getting 3% at my bank account. That's only because inflation is at its all-time high. Um, Also, if you want to talk about transaction speeds, we should talk about the cryptocurrency that I was trying to build. Man, so I like it's pretty interesting if you get into if you read into how it all works, and there's some tutorials out there, but like it's a whole bunch of cryptography, and it's pretty interesting because you like a core fundamental breakdown of everything on how a cryptocurrency is made, specifically like Ethereum, any of the mineable coins. So um, you get to choose like block time and all this stuff. It's pretty neat.
I
Pretty neat
posted
stuff.
a link to a Google Doc that I made. Of course, it's not complete, but if you're to look at it, it shows the top cryptocurrencies, um, as well as what their native token is, type of validator, the consensus protocol, the hash algorithm, type of blockchain they're considered to be, transactions per second, approximate block time, mining equipment. I'm working on the dates launched, but we're getting there.
Nice, dude. That's pretty cool. You should do you want to share your screen and show it, or do you want me to do it?
Sure.
Cool. Share screen. All right.
Are you sharing it or am I?
Yeah, no, I
Go-
got it
go
up
for
here. So this is what Joe was talking about. I like the colors. It's kind of nice. So are you just doing? Yeah, you're doing the colors of the coins. Ledger. Yeah, rest in peace. EVM compatible. I can help you with these. I know a lot of them that are EVM compatible. Pretty cool. Do you have the? Yeah, okay, you do have the. It's nice. That's cool too, showing the transactions per second and the block time. That's all important stuff.
Yeah, so this is what I reference whenever I need immediate information to compare and contrast. We have a lot of comments that you are not keeping up with, so I'll go ahead and be the producer of the show here.
I'm sorry, I
As
was
always.
going down because we were talking about this, and I was going to get back to it, but because we were moving along. So Geek of All Trades is bringing up Visa, which is actually a good. How's it going, Void? Welcome. Which is a good transition to talking about the announcement that Visa made. Where was it? A couple of days ago, or is it this morning? So, breaking news for everyone not paying attention on Twitter. If you are like frequently looking up crypto stuff, it should pop up in your trending on Twitter. But Bitcoin exchange Paxful removed Ethereum from its marketplace, and it's a fairly large exchange. Although I've never heard of it, but it's getting some serious traction, and some people are saying it's not true, and they can still use their Ethereum on it and whatnot. But the big news is coming from Visa. Let me share my screen again. Holy shit, Visa, out of all companies, might be the reason crypto goes mainstream. Visa has proposed a blockchain account design that could allow Ethereum users to arrange auto payments from a self-custodized wallet, meaning no more exchanges. What do you guys think about that? So this would be kind of like how we're operating right now with MetaMask, and you're using, you're just like sending money through MetaMask to users. I don't know how this would function. I guess it says auto payment, so I guess it would kind of be like how you have it set up in your traditional bank account, where if you have a bill, it'll auto pay. So it seems more for transactions that are continuous, like rent, electricity. Not really, because that's a variable, but fixed costs. So rent, phone bill, etc. What do you guys think about this? This actually be pretty large, getting Ethereum on Visa, because each credit card has their own channel that they work on. And so if Visa does it, then I would assume the other ones are probably going to want to add it, because a lot of people are going to move to Visa who are heavy crypto enthusiasts.
Yes. Now, it really depends on how you see it. And I'm sure many people will be waiting for the influencers to tell them what their opinion is. And you can see it one of two ways, I guess. Rather than natively spending from a decentralized wallet, we're looking at a centralized company that they have some sort of vested interest in gaining a foothold within the Ethereum ecosystem, within the crypto ecosystem overall. Will that lead to more centralization? Will that lead to more bureaucracy and regulation? We have to look at the fine print. We have to look at the intentions. Of course, I did see some stuff on Ethereum earlier on today on Twitter saying they have a lot of links to the World Economic Forum, and we know that Ethereum is certainly willing to play ball within the political arena. they have a lot of I forget the exact terminology for it, but green energy aspirations, which is a
Yeah.
large reason for the push of proof of stake, which I think is a frankly a load of BS. This this is really an argument that is meant to further oppress the little guy. And once again, over in Europe, some news broke today that they will be having the emissions tax, which I'm sure is a veiled carbon tax, but more to come on that.
I got some interesting news based off of the proof of stake thing. This came up a couple days ago, actually. I can post this too if you guys are interested. But they just found in the U.S. a new discovery in renewable energy, and it's basically where did it say right here?
Is that part of the nuclear fusion?
Yeah. So they bombarded a pellet of hydrogen plasma with the world's largest laser to trigger a nuclear fusion reaction that creates a net energy gain, according to a report in the Financial Times. So if something like this were able to be, I don't know if this was considered controlled or if it kind of exploded, but they produced 2.5 megajoules of energy, 120% of the 2.1 megajoules used to power the experiment. Wow.
Very interesting.
So they
Now,
powered. That's pretty cool.
the way I've read into this is that it's one step in the process, a large step, a needed step, but not the exact end result that they're looking for. However,
Yeah,
we
long
are
road
making
ahead.
progress towards that um, renewable energy. But looking at the bureaucracy, looking at it from a political standpoint, we've seen Germany close, I think it was 8 nuclear power facilities, and made them reliant on natural resources, natural gas, oil, etc., from Russia, which absolutely baffles my mind as to why they would do that from any standpoint other than, once again, vested and corrupt interests. So, although they're going around telling everyone we need to be green, we need to be renewable, we must be self sustaining, self reliant, they're doing the exact opposite, as all lying politicians do. Now, Geek of All Trades here brings up a good point. Crypto slash blockchain will really be mainstream when users don't even realize they are using it. And that is a great point to make. It is, and it depends. As a crypto and blockchain investor, if you consider yourself that, if you're someone who is holding onto crypto in terms of an investment rather than trying to churn a profit just through mining, you have to think, how do you want this to actually play out? Is it just you want to see everything raise in value so you could get that profit? And numerous ways that this could happen. Of course, when we talk about big tech, big money being piled into crypto and blockchain, just the purchase power, the billions of dollars in reserves that these companies have, that brings us to the moon. But also, if they were to integrate this into their current systems, those transactions, that utilization of the blockchain and the amount of coins being burnt to utilize that blockchain also causes a significant increase in price.
I just asked a really stupid poll. I said, "Do you guys think that Ethereum could switch back to proof of stake if renewable energy becomes as renewable as this is saying, where it's a net positive?" And it's 100% no right now. So honestly, I think I'm just going to end the poll. But yeah, 3 people, 100% no. So I just thought it would be interesting to see what happens.
Usable tech is a decade out, probably. Very likely that is the case. Yeah. And of course, there is a quote I don't remember exactly who by, but technology is always overestimated short term, underestimated long term, and its impact.
Welcome 619 OTA. Welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? How's everyone doing tonight? Are you guys excited for Christmas? Do you guys have any plans? On, anything. What's going on? How's your crypto experience right now? Are you guys hit by the FTX controversy and all the dominoes? I know I am. I still got to check to see if BlockFi is allowing me to withdraw because I'm fairly certain they're trying to get it to work. So I'll check that real quick. But how do let's see. Helium to the moon.
Yeah.
Void walking says same. Helium to the moon. 619, what do you think about the helium price spike? We were talking about it a little bit earlier.
Now, I've also been told secondhand that we have a competitor known as Things IX, which is being developed by a serious team, and that is the true competitor that the insiders of HNT fear, and one that I certainly intend on mining. And you will be able to mine it not only by standing up a hotspot, but by mapping hotspots as well.
So the mappers that you have, are you able to repurpose them for this project?
Possibly, we'll see. They
That's
may
cool.
go with the secure mapper, where it's a signed transaction that you have to utilize so you can't actually spoof location.
Yeah.
That's what is trending within the current wireless proof of coverage type of networks, because we've seen so many people actually spoof, and that data can be easily manipulated. However, there was a good show yesterday from Gristle King called Full Savage. It's number 2 in the playlist, where they talk about how when this infrastructure is being built out, when you have mapping available, a lot of times what ends up happening is because people understand that they can potentially make more by mapping in a cheaper manner. It's a smaller investment rather than actually buying the infrastructure that you need to stand up. You can just map it. You end up with a disproportionate amount of mappers and mapping, and no real contribution to the infrastructure other than validation.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily reassured of that model, but it is a good alternative in some cases. It does have its downfalls, but aside from a proof of coverage standpoint, where with proof of coverage that can be gamed as well. Now, I really like what Crank is doing with their proof of coverage, and it's not necessarily mapping, and it's not necessarily the a single network's traffic example given. Let's say you have just that proof of coverage traffic between hotspots that are on that one network. They're taking all LoRaWAN traffic that is heard in any given area and comparing that. And your scaling is not necessarily by geographic location, rather by what you're actually providing coverage to, which that metric, the usefulness and redundancy metric, is figured by analyzing all the traffic that is coming through that hotspot, whether that be specifically for the Crank network, the Helium network, the Things network, or any other LoRaWAN network. I think it's a tremendous idea.
619 OTA says, I know a guy making hundreds a day with Pollen flying a drone around mapping. Have you heard of Pollen before?
Yeah, Pollen Mobile. And they're the ones that are having problems with this scaling, where people are only buying mapping equipment vice the actual, the covered devices,
yeah.
CBRS radios.
That's definitely an issue that we'll have to tackle. So the people mapping are able to earn as well as the people with the radios, and the
Yes.
mappers are cheaper.
Yes, when with pollen, your location does not earn unless someone maps it that day. So it's not a hands-off approach. And I have a tremendous location here in the southwest Chicago suburbs that, look, if we put a CBRS radio up there, there would be coverage for about a mile, and that's very generous for CBRS and the frequency it runs on, the modulations it needs. But the mapping issue was the hardest to nail down, and I've had several deals fall through because of that specifically.
Huh. Well, I think it's interesting. What was the name of that one again? I forgot the name.
Pollen Mobile?
No, the one we were just talking
Things
about.
IX or Crank?
Things IX. I have not heard about them.
Now, Things IX, that was from the Long AP creator. And the story I've heard around Things IX, not necessarily, I can't verify this, but the creator, Tim, he was creating hotspots, and I think they haven't even gotten 1,000 manufactured in total, but they did meet their shipping promises. They don't have an angry backlog of customers like other companies. However, they discontinued shipping, and I guess the guy got some threats for whatever reason. I don't know, but he is a competent developer. He is competent in LoRaWAN space along with his team, from what I've been told.
619 says Long AP is killing it on hotspots. I thought they had. Is that a joke? I thought they had issues. No.
Well, I just said that they have less than 1,000 in circulation, less than 1,000 produced.
Yeah. Long AP Pro, they really changed their. Okay, so they kind of.
Chris, you're having severe audio issues right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something off with my Wi-Fi.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's your Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if it's your microphone, but it's coming in like it's like a piece of paper blown in the wind.
Oh. Well, that's not good. Let me see if I can. I guess I could do a.
Chris has made more on this live stream tonight than he has in the past 4 months making videos.
That's probably true. Where do you see that? It's not even showing up for me.
What?
Oh, did you just say that, or was that a comment?
I'm just talking out my career.
Yeah. Is my audio any better or no?
It is terrible. It's gotten worse.
Let me listen to the stream here.
He is.
Oh, really? Oh, jeez. That is pretty bad. Let me try switching.
I'll take over the show if you'd like to.
Yeah, just for a second here.
And now, this time, we are going to bring in Chump Change XD.
Any better?
No, it's not better.
All right, I'm going to check all the connections.
All right. I am your trusted host and producer. What would you guys like to talk about in the comments? That's what us poor people did for fun as a kid, talking into the fan. Crypto Craig says same. Chris is just in the studio talking to himself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's much better.
Dude, it switched to my webcam for no reason whatsoever. And then I was asking if you could hear me, and I realized I was not in the stream. So I'm back. I don't know why it did that. StreamYard is a little goofy. Sounds like I'm talking to a fan. Thank you. Thank you. Help, help. Chris is drowning.
Oh, man.
So The link is open. We got 5 people watching right now. If you guys want to call in, feel free. You don't need to have a webcam. You know,
And
we can.
if you like, we can stream to my channel at any time. We could just dual stream. I can, if you hit that edit button, it allows you to add a secondary one.
Do you want me to do that?
If you like, I don't mind.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, bro.
And we're live on Joe's channel. I didn't know you could do that
Are
in
we?
the same stream. Yeah, we should be.
Excellent. Let me check.
Awesome.
Let's see who's coming in.
What is Flux parallel assets? Chump Change knows a lot about that, but I'll give you my interpretation of parallel assets. When you're mining Flux, it gives you actually, I should be mining Flux right now, so let me go to that website and I can show you.
It is another crypto that you can earn when you are mining Flux. Now, I'm not sure what their payout rewards actually are, how they scale, or what the threshold is that you have to meet to do so. But
you don't actually earn.
Dana,
You don't.
go ahead.
I don't think you actually earn those currencies. It pays out. I haven't, at least. I've not been paid out in that. It's just paid me out an additional Flux. So
Very well.
This is my miner. I have mined a total of 42 Flux. Parallel assets would be Cadena, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and there's some other ones. I think FTX was at one point on here, and Luna, I think, was also here. They took those off for obvious reasons. And once it reaches a certain threshold, I think it's different per one. But there are some, it depends on the pool. Some of the pools pay out the parallel assets differently. So I have a custom set out to 10 Flux. I'm going to get 10 Flux sent to my wallet, and in a few minutes, a percentage for each pending parallel asset. So it says it somewhere on here, I'm sure. But let me check my actual. Let me stop streaming for a second. I'm going to check my Zelcore to see if I actually received any of these other parallel assets. I'm fairly sure it's just Flux.
So what type of node do you have?
I have a Cumulus node, but this is not from the Cumulus node. This is actually, I don't have a Cumulus node anymore. I just have the Flux. This is just strictly from mining.
Dirk writes, and you get Flux for hold in your Zelcore wallet.
And I might need to add assets. It's a little laggy. The weird thing about, I don't know if you use Zelcore, but if you do use it, when you like send tokens to it, it won't show up. You have to add the asset for it to appear, which is kind of a pain. But obviously, if you've been doing it for a long time.
Isn't that the same thing in MetaMask?
Yeah. Sure is. So yeah, I don't have any Flux Cadena, Flux Solana, Flux ETH, none of it. But it was paid out, so I'm pretty sure it's just paid out in Flux. Fairly certain. All right.
I converted my SenseCap miner into a Flux Cumulus node.
How is that working for you, Durka?
Excellent conversion.
I'm thinking about doing that. Did you have to get a M.2 adapter, any type of adapters for it? Because I know they only have the SD cards. I'm not sure if it's fast enough storage. So that'd be interesting.
It should be fast enough storage.
Huh. Because the only reason I asked for the M.2 is because I looked at the SenseCap M4 that we talked about, and it has an expandable M.2 slot. So 619 says you need an M.2, so not sure. Let's see what Durka says here. You said it's been running for 2 months, no issues. That's awesome. Are you? I would assume you're probably hardwired too. Maybe I will repurpose the other SenseCap.
I still need to send my SenseCap in to be repaired, but I owe them a video.
What's wrong with
I owe them a
it?
video on this box assembly, and it's yeah. I am never again doing any sort of assembly videos like this for any companies, because what a pain in the ass this enclosure video is.
You're
I
using
also
it as
don't feel motivated to do it. What?
Sorry, I was reading Durka's comments. He says he's using an SSD, so I'd assume you're probably using an external SSD. You're just like plugging it in, which is good. Joe, what's wrong with your sense cap?
Died. Worked with support on it. Didn't work. They said send it back, and getting it to, what is it? DHX, the company that ships internationally. What's the company?
Oh, DH.
Is it
DHP?
DHX?
DHP?
I don't think it's DHP.
DHZ?
Whatever it may be.
It's
DHL.
DHL.
Correct.
We're close. Yeah, the company that's dominant in every country except the United States. Interesting. Yeah, the sense cap that I bought had a bad charger, and that was a pain to get a new charger. Finally got the new charger, and then my friend took it when I left it. I had the monitor up at his house. Then when he gave it back to me, he's like, "Oh, I don't know where the charger is." I think you know where the charger is. It's a USB-C charger, so I understand. They're kind of the golden ticket of chargers.
What a turd.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like such a pain. Get another charger. So I mean, it's not like I'm
just. I regret buying the hotspots that I did, or allowing someone to talk me into buying $5,000 worth of hotspots, because now I have to go round these things up and deal with people. And one person moved, they put it away in the storage and lost it.
Yeah.
Another one, we put it at his parents' house, and yeah, getting that back is going to be a pain. I mean, it's just one thing after another. Excuse me.
Welcome HSS 006. How's it going, guys? You can call in right now. We got 11 viewers. You guys can call in with the pin message. I'm not sure if it's pinned on Joe's channel yet.
I'll pin that.
It is pinned on mine, so you guys can come join, talk to us. You don't need a webcam. You just need a mic.
We don't have any trolls in the audience tonight. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Exactly. No way. Finally managed to join.
Crank some tunes here.
What's up, Wayne? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good night. We're just relaxing. I didn't have time. I was gonna get some hard ciders for tonight's stream, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Is that the Wayne I know from Discord?
I sent you a picture. I will check Discord right now, sir. I know what happened, Joe.
What?
With my mic, because now I'm looking on Discord. Something, I think Discord interfered with it, and it disconnected, reconnected, whatever. And because when I opened Discord, it said new device connected. Do you want to switch? Got me. That's a nice picture. Huh. Do you mind if I share this, Durka, just on screen? Because this is actually a great picture demonstrating how it's working. Something I wanted to figure out. Let me know.
619 OTA. Yeah, you probably should have got a refund. I think we're all feeling a little bit salty about Helium hotspot shipping, but for Helium themselves, that was a blessing in disguise, because that whole network wouldn't have scaled the way they needed it to when it came to onboarding devices, especially with that whole validator rollout. What a disaster! Light hotspots, come on. We're still not. I don't even think we're at a complete light hotspot, because it doesn't seem that any manufacturer has been selling the actual light hotspots, where you need minimal specs to run it.
Well, Seed is selling their light hotspots.
Are they actually selling? Okay, why does it go from M2 to M4? Can you tell me that? Are they selling M2 light hotspot, or is it M2 data only? Go ahead and share it
This is M2 is what it says.
It won't tell you, but I can guarantee that's a light hotspot.
Yeah, this is like hotspot. Yeah.
Not a light hotspot, a data only hotspot.
Oh yeah, it is. I understand.
Data
what
only
you're
is
saying.
different than light hotspot because they
I
don't
understand.
participate in proof of coverage. Therefore, they earn nothing.
Yeah,
However, what you can do,
it,
you want
quite
to cheat
literally.
the system, they do receive proof of coverage. However, they will not process it. Therefore, if you'd like to forward all that traffic, if you can SSH into it, which I have not been able to gain access to. However, if you're able to do so, you can forward that on UDP port 1680 if you're able to open that in. Most likely it would be a rack hotspot.
Do you have a data only hotspot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could offer to send this to you if you wanted to mess with it.
Nah, I'm good.
It's
It's
in a box.
not.
Oh, let me share this photo from Durka. You can share slides too. Huh. All right. So this is his.
Go ahead.
This is his Flux Cumulus node inside of what once was a SenseCap M2. So this is a great picture demonstrating how he's got it set up. I guess you have to have it probably USB-C, or no, you're probably doing USB-A on the back side. So I'm glad I saw this picture, because when I was looking at the SenseCap, and I want to know if you like modified it at all, but when you take the SenseCap out of the shell that it's in, there's two boards. There's one with all of the helium related items, and then there's the Raspberry Pi, and they pair on the, I guess it's probably a 30 pin adapter. There's a fan that's powered by the SenseCap stuff. So I was wondering if you managed to get it to work. Did you hardwire it back into the Raspberry Pi? Interesting, because when you power the actual SenseCap, you power it through the SenseCap boards, not the Raspberry Pi. It's all powered through the SenseCap board.
Go ahead and join up if you want to chat.
Sorry for struggling to speak. Will do again. Wayne joined.
Ursa Prime, to answer your question, it's been only SenseCap that I've tried. Rack as well you can do.
Probably Panther X.
Yeah, if you want to try. I haven't tried.
I haven't.
All right, we have a call-in. Wayne. We'll bring Wayne in. Wayne, welcome to the stream.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
How's it going?
Good. I just finished work. I was actually watching your guys' episode earlier today while I was working. It's a good way to keep me busy and thinking.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching. Man. Is there anything in particular you want to discuss? Any topics, whatever it may be, or anything on the mind?
You know, actually, I watched your video for the what is it? The Seed Studio SenseCap, the one that's supporting Flux.
Yeah.
I was pretty interested in that, so after giving your video a watch, I ended up drying up my wallet and buying one.
Nice.
It's cool.
Yeah. Are you gonna have have you bought into Flux already?
Yeah, I did. I knew Flux for quite some time, but I was just occupied with a bunch of other projects. And then, with the crypto crash and everything, Flux becoming a bit cheaper, I was like, this looks like a good time. Why not?
Yeah. Now the return should be decent. If we see that moonshot again, so I think we will with Flux for sure. It'll be a good return. It's also I think it's a great project to participate in.
It's so cheap right now.
Yeah.
It's dirt cheap.
What other projects you got going on, Wayne?
Here, hold on, let me pop my camera on. I thought it was working. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm stuck with helium for now too. I have like 15 hotspots. 3 of them are dead. I can't be bothered to fix them. I'm proactively looking for hosts for the 5G stuff for helium. I have one in Oregon, one in Vegas, and then one in San Antonio. I was taking a look at Poland as well, but I don't know how I feel about that one yet.
I don't think Poland, as in the EU.
No, Poland Mobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
Poland. Oh, okay,
Yep,
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I like them. I mean, that might be. They say they have a different business model. By the way, Lloyd Christmas, welcome to the stream. Yeah, they say their business model is a little bit different, where they're trying to build out a private network versus what Helium's doing with the public network. That might be. I'm kind of on the edge about this. I'm not sure what to make of the whole 5G, and yeah, I've said before. So I work in the wireless space. I primarily do Wi-Fi deployments for large venues, and I've been hearing about Open 5G, CBRS for the past 6 years now, and we've just never seen a demand, at least in the space that we're in, to utilize this technology. It might be different because you see Amazon is building out their own CBRS network for customer use. So there might be demand there. I'm not certain of it. I don't see it, but maybe the thought is build it and they will come. Certain it may be possible, but there's no telling. And it's a step that I think has to be taken to see if it will succeed. What do you think about the whole Helium 5G and Holland Mobile?
I think it's a unique aspect, right? It's a good conversation piece when you're catching up with friends, but apart from that, I think we're still fairly early, right? I know like there's a lot of issues going on. My hosts are always bugging me because there's an issue with the Explorer for the radio showing all of them are offline. They're just all worried about not getting paid out.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I'm able to venture into more projects. I'm a recent graduate. I just started my full-time employment in August. I went to school for IT. Did a internship as a junior network analyst.
Cool.
And then I'm still having a hard time with a lot of networking stuff, It's so hard to make it stick. I was just like looking at a console all day. So I didn't want to turn on my camera, but I guess I don't look too bad now. My eyes are just so baggy.
It's it's rough, especially for the first 3 years. It's always going to be a struggle session, but even then, it's like. So I've been working with networks for 10 years. I'm primarily a Cisco guy, and it's like I can navigate pretty much any command line. I know where to go, but I don't have it memorized like I do with Cisco. So eventually you'll get to where you need to be and know where to go always, but it'll still be an uphill battle, so to speak. But what kind of tech you working on in your job?
Mostly right now our company just upgraded like our server room. We've got Meraki's coming in that I've been trying to figure out. So funny enough, I've actually never played with a Switch in real life until I started my internship. I did all my school online. I was just stuck with Packet Tracer half the time.
Yeah, I remember the Meraki acquisition with Cisco. They've come a long way since that. But what a pain in the ass. We have Patrick Murphy says, "Hey Hawk, where's Joe?" So Hawk and I have a very similar personality quirk in the way that we both like to say ignorant things for comical effect, as it turns out. But he's working the restaurant tonight.
Durka said the point of Helium Low RWAN was to show how big and quick they can build a network. Now they will work on 5G. The only reason 5G is not growing as fast is because of the crypto market.
You might be right, Durka. I mean, there's some truth to that, but it's also significantly more costly to stand up a CBRS radio. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Yeah, he has a good point about that. I think my setups run like 3-4 grand every time I do something.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's quite a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, especially. I mean, there was a small pump today, but it's not, nothing lasts forever. Even though the market cap's up 31%, the price is up 31%. Yeah. It's insane.
As far as I don't know, helium's concerned, they have aspirations to have a lot of different networks here: Wi-Fi, DABA, decentralized VPN, CDN, content delivery network. I'm laughing at these comments that are coming through. So I think there is those aspirations are a little bit of a pipe dream during the crypto winter. Maybe we will see that sometime down the line if helium are to survive. I know that there is some. I get the secondhand information that comes out of some of the insiders' mouths, and I guess I'll say it on stream. We joke about how bad it is, but that might be the honest truth because that's what some of the people on the inside are saying. But my opinion, of course, like I said, what I heard secondhand, and I can't verify all of it, so I'm not going to say it all. But Wi-Fi DABA, let's try to get IoT to succeed first. Decentralized VPN, if they're going to do some sort of merge or acquisition with the Boring protocol, they could develop their own decentralized VPN if they wanted to. They always had the chance with a certain network by the name of Deeper, and I believe for good reasons that that never became a thing, as we've seen.
Did you see Patrick Murphy said, did you guys all get your X-Hamster utility NFTs? I think Joe got a couple.
Oh, I'd love to have some. Those are ones I'd actually buy. They might have some value.
Yeah.
I want to get a Lana Rhodes NFT. You guys might say it's a rug pull and a scam, but I don't think so. I don't think it ever will be.
Who did CoffeeZilla make a video on that? I watched a video on it and then I joined
that whole group of people.
Yeah.
They're all scammers. It turns out.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Turds.
I wanted to go back quickly. 609 said he bought a whole bunch of miners and he didn't get them until Thanksgiving, the rack ones in particular. I had a very similar story. I think I ordered my rack in April. I ordered like a Bobcat, 2 racks, and one of the other ones in April, and I was waiting for them to arrive. The racks came the latest, and I ordered them actually the earliest. I ended up selling them each for double what I paid for both of them. So I think I sold each one for $800, and I think I paid $600 for both of them or something like that. So it was a crazy good profit on those. The 5G and stuff like that, I mean, we've seen an adjust in the price a little bit on like the standard miners with the price of everything coming down and the demand coming down. We haven't really seen an adjustment on the 5G devices. And I don't know if it was just really high cost to make them or if they just want to make as much profit as possible. But I think if we wait a couple more months, maybe in the new year, they'll have some adjusted prices. Who knows? I don't know. With inflation, anything's possible. They could just raise them more.
Yeah, they keep bragging about how they want to have more competitive pricing next year for not only the cells but for the gateway itself. But you're right.
It's probably it could be competitive with the other 5G devices, which are fairly expensive. So it's still way out of range for like the average Joe.
Yeah, that's why I have all these hosting things going on. I went through like Helium Deploy to connect with people, but their website was changing like all the time. So I just had to bookmark a link so I could go back to where I wanted. Now it's changed again and it looks completely different. So I've just given up.
Yeah.
It's just I was happy. I went with So one guy I have has 2 locations, so I like talked to him about it, and he was like pretty dead set on having me. And then the next day, Helium Deploy introduced like claiming the location, so you have to put down like $50 US to reserve his location. And then he just delisted himself because he was like, "Fuck that, keep your money."
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they're Helium Deploy are a good group of guys. No, I've moved on to coffee now. I was drinking Red Bull earlier, but I've run out.
What time is it for you?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Damn.
Yeah, I still got a video to
What
film
about
tonight.
you?
It's 7 over here. I live in Canada. Fucking, just been working from home for the past few days, man. The roads are brutal. It's negative 49 with the wind chill up here. So
Wow.
I'm not leaving.
Dang.
What about you, Chris? Where are you from?
I live in Pennsylvania, so
Nice.
it's 9 p.m. for me right now.
Are you in school too, or are you done?
No, I just finished my first semester of grad school. I got 3 more to go,
Shit,
so I'll be
grad
done.
school.
I'll be done 2024.
Damn.
Jeez.
What are you taking?
Master's in accounting.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's really exhilarating stuff. I think I just finished this semester though with like a 3.9, which is the highest I think I've ever gotten. So it's pretty cool.
Damn. Good
Wow.
shit, man.
I can see why we haven't had any content from you recently.
What'd you say? You cut out.
I see why we haven't had any content from you recently.
Yeah, I've been grinding, man.
Yeah,
It's
jeez.
weird. The grad school is like it seems like it's less work, but I feel more stressed about it because I'm not used to the smaller workload, and I feel like I'm missing assignments. And I just transferred schools, so it's like I don't know if you use like Canvas or anything or Desire to Learn. Those are some college. Yeah.
D2L is a classic.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm using DTL, so I don't understand how it all works. And I've missed a couple assignments, but I've reached out to the professors and I'm like, please, I have no clue what I'm doing. Please give me an extension. And they're all really nice. So I'm doing all right. Man, I want to get content out there. And I just made a video and I posted it today and I think it got like 10 views. I lost my touch. I got to get
Damn.
back into it.
Yeah, dude,
It's hard to juggle things though, hey?
Yeah, it really is.
and it's the algorithm. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get in sync with the algorithm.
Yep.
But it's also like, what does your fan base actually want to see? Like,
That's another issue.
I did that crypto call-in, the live stream highlights of us. It's not even up to 100 views. It got 5 likes. And I'm trying to draw more people in to these live streams. But like the one before that, it's been up for a week now. And it's, almost 2,500 views, nearly 100 likes, only 2 dislikes. But people want to hear about Helium and Solana.
Yeah.
You look at the one before that, Flux, that brought in a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new viewers, but it's also when you diversify and you're able to like, big thing for YouTube, roping people into the algorithm. Like, if you get them to click your video once, you're going to be in their feed more often. And if you can get the clicks from them from there on out, it just solidifies it.
I saw a YouTube video talking about the algorithm, and I think it might have been Logan Paul talking, because he's like you got to give the guy credit. He really knows how to market things. He said basically you have to upload on a consistent schedule, and as soon as you skip a beat on the schedule, you miss a day or you're off for a little bit, the algorithm it like chews you up and just spits you out, pulls in someone else. So I think right now where I'm at, and I've been through this so many times, is that I stopped making videos, even if it's like a week or so, and then once I come back, it does not push. Even if people have notifications on, it doesn't push the videos to people. I even tried. I was talking to Joel about this. I was trying some like alternative things, and I bought a Fiverr. It's supposed to be a promotional ad, and I'm pretty sure it was just bots that just watched my videos. So I was a little disappointed in that. But they said they were going to use like Google Ads and all this stuff, and they never sent me anything. It just they're like, all right, it's done. I'm like, what? But it's tough right now. I'm also having an issue. I don't know if you are, Joe. Well, I think you might be with one company in particular, but communication with these companies looking to sponsor has been kind of slow. Like everyone's really slow in their responses. Everyone just seems kind of just chilled out right now, just kind of waiting. It's kind of what we're at right now. Everything, it's just like a dormant volcano. It's going to explode again. We just don't know when.
Lloyd Christmas, to answer your question, why is H&T above $2? There is some speculation for the reason. Now, apparently an article came out saying that there's 5 coins that are looking to displace BTC, which I think is a load of bull in itself. Well, for any coin to do so, let alone H&T, is a very tall order. But the point being is that people who are new to the H&T space are speculating and buying in. That could be one of the reasons. The other being is that there was a lot of validators that cooled down. So we're looking at almost 1 million H&T being dumped onto exchanges, possibly. I'm not sure that's the case. Helium Rising being the validator company. Chump Change XD writes, "Is all trends and keywords right now everyone in crypto space views blow." That's correct.
I remember Chump Change and I remember Red Panda Mining. Right when GPU mining started to take off, I was like subscribed to them pretty early on because I'm in the space and I watched their views or their subscribers explode. Panda went from like 20,000 all the way up to 220,000. Chump Change went from a couple thousand to I think he's at like 60 or 20,000, something like that. So it's just right now the growth is really tough. Joe, another thing I wanted to say with the Helium tokens, who's to say that Binance doesn't cancel the liquidity or pause the liquidity pairs right now? So you might not even be able to sell Helium if they see a massive onload, because Binance they have to handle it all on their own.
Yeah, well, that was a couple things there, and this is all speculation and opinion on my part, but two of the reasons that we've seen what happened with Binance: number one, they severely mishandled the mobile onboarding of the mobile token. It's a sub H&T token for the Open5G CBRS mining. But I don't know. I heard a YouTuber called that one a couple months ago and was ridiculed for saying it, but it turned out to be right.
So YouTuber you, Joe?
It might be. I don't know. I hear that he's really hated in the Helium community.
I think he lies a lot on his videos.
But anyways, so it's possible they lost millions of dollars because of that error in accounting, as they call it. And that was the reason for canceling those different pairs. So you'd either have to trade directly to fiat and take that hit when it came to the cost of that trade, or you'd have to trade it to BNB coin, which was one of the liquidity pairs that is still there. So it's still making a lot of money within their system. So either they're trying to recoup funds, or they also see the writing on the wall with the move to Solana, where they know because these validators are going into the cooldown phase, there's going to be a mass of H&T dumped on the exchanges. Binance is one of the only ones that handles H&T because it's a separate chain unto itself. That being said, that's another way for them just to scoop into the pot and grab a disproportionate amount of money. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, it's speculation, but either way, it kind of seems both. There's some truth to both of them, no matter how you look at it when it comes to the outcome.
Oh, Joe, check it out.
Lovely. We got merch now.
Oh, no, I made this in high school, so this is like, I just found it. because it was in a pile of shirts. Pretty awesome.
White Christmas. Rumor has it Elon is going to buy helium. Hey, 619 OTA. Rumor has it is that Bobcat IoT is rolling out their own network. They're going to displace helium by pushing out an OTA to all the Bobcats currently online, and everyone's going to mine the cat token. How about that?
Man, I think this week. Listen, so I don't know if I forget his name. Goat of all trades, right?
Geek of all trades.
Geek of all trades. He's got the goat, so it confused me. I was looking at your Etsy shop this morning and whatnot, and maybe I'll start an Etsy shop. I'm just trying to think of like alternative things that I can do right now with the equipment that I have. I'm selling textbooks that I haven't ever used, you know, all this stupid stuff. Here, Joe.
Red Panda, welcome to the stream. You shiller.
Welcome, Red Panda. Joe, I gotta show you this book, unrelated to crypto, but I mean, kind of, because legislation. This book right here, CCH, Federal Taxation. This book, guess how much it costs brand new? And you have to buy it brand new. $300.
Get the fuck out.
Is it even stapled together? Is the actual book? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It's all printed and whatnot, and it's got like, so this is the worst part with this book. Let me see if I can find it. So they have all the tax brackets and the rates for the current year in 2022, which this is the 2022. Keep in mind, next time you file taxes, it's going to be 2023. So guess what? This book is useless now. They release a new book for 2023, and you have to spend another $300. Luckily for me, I already took this course, but I just think this is the stupidest thing in the world. It's such a monopoly, and you know you got to buy the book because this is the class.
Patrick Murphy writes, "Strange, I can't see Panda or Chump in chat. The reason is because we're streaming from both my channel and Chris's channel, so there's certain people talking on different channels. So we try to display all the comments.
Oh,
but in total, we got 14 viewers."
I think I just found I just found a USB-C charger. That's pretty epic. I think that's for Sunscat.
You can sell it, get some money.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are blaming your buddy?
No. This is for a Nintendo Switch that I no longer have. I bought a Nintendo Switch. I tried to modify it with basically like jailbreak. You have to do this really tiny soldering, and I bought the wrong cable. You're supposed to get like an enameled copper cable. So when you heat it up with the soldering iron, it melts the enamel and it solders on. It was like really, really micro soldering. I really was not prepared for it. Anyway, I got it to work for maybe half a second, and then it just fried. So I got rid of the Nintendo Switch.
You live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to, man, those college textbooks fucking blow. I remember buying a textbook. It was literally just wrapped in plastic. It's just loose leaf for $250. Even put it together as a book. They just.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, those are the worst.
Usually with those books, they get you because you have to buy the book to get the online code.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it was. I listed so much stuff on eBay right now. Uh-oh. Joe, what's going on? What's going on, Joe?
I don't know. Whose channel is being spammed? I can't tell.
I think that's yours. I just put them in timeout.
I don't see it.
Maybe it was already hidden, because sometimes if they're hidden already, they still show up on StreamYard. You need to rent out your textbooks that you aren't using anymore, get the residual revenue. Geek of all trades. Luckily for you, I don't buy textbooks anymore. That was the only textbook I had to buy. Like, there's basically the only textbooks I have to buy now are the ones for the online codes, because like I need to use their platforms. But they're on my stream. Oh, I gotta make Red Panda Mining a moderator here.
Red Panda Mining's on your stream.
Yeah, don't want to brag or anything.
I have a question for you, Joe.
Yes.
When you went into your like specialty field for what you do now, what made you specifically choose it? I always like asking this question.
So I started out in the military, and they give you the it's tactical communications, but you also have to do like servers, routing, switching. You got to learn the digital radios, satcom, and all of that. And what was the make or break for me was seeing what a pain in the ass Windows Server was to administrate, and like how many dependencies there are there. Where even though command line is harder at first, it's just over time way more straightforward and easier. That just was how it occurred to me at first, and it also seemed like everyone wanted to go towards Windows Server, so I just chose Cisco. It was also when I started studying Cisco, there was a YouTube channel that I specifically watched where he talked a lot about it. It was really motivational, and that's how I ended up going with network engineering.
Nice, I like that. I can't program for shit, so I thought joining networking would be better, but I still have to program and script and networking, so I just fuck myself anyways.
Yeah, what made you go towards networking?
I like the hardware portion stuff of it, actually diving deep into routers and switches, stuff like that. And then I think my last class I took was like an advanced network class where you learn some CCIE stuff, so some protocols that I can think of. I don't know, QoS was probably the biggest one I struggled with. I'm still struggling with it today. I still don't understand how it works. I have like the Cisco QoS textbook. God, that thing's like my Bible now, man.
Yeah, I have that somewhere around here, but it's like that big.
Oh yeah, it's so
I think I read it back to back in its entirety once, but you don't need all the chapters in that. Yeah, it's confusing at first because you get so caught up in the details, where it's like what it comes down to realistically is, unless you're running your own ISP or data center, you need to conform to what like your ISP is, what their model is. So they'll usually give you like 5 different I'm drawing a blank to what they would call it, but 5 different ratings, right? And then internally you can mark them different with DSCP, but it just has to conform when it gets onto the wire through the ISP. It's usually going to be like their MPLS, like an internal
MPLS.
network.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's another fun one. But here's the thing about MPLS. The majority of MPLS that you're going to use is going to be layer 3 VPN, whether it's actual programming it or actually using it, whether it's ISP or you're using it with an ISP from like the corporate side. I've never really seen layer 2 MPLS or anything crazy from it, and it's mostly like a BGP multi-protocol configuration. What was I saying about QoS? But it's just like shaping, policing. You mark the traffic, and then you figure out what you're going to do with it. And the hardest part. Go ahead.
Have you ever used EvenG before? It's an emulator for all this stuff.
I've tried. I haven't used it. GNS3 was my go-to for the longest time.
That's your competitor.
I think I've used whatever. So the Cisco labs that they have through the website that you can purchase and you'd VPN into. Yeah. Those might be the EvenG ones.
I see.
I don't know, but those are awesome. Those labs, the Cisco 360 ones, are killer, especially if you're preparing for CCIE. That was my many years ago, before my second kid.
Oh my god! I shouldn't have brought it up. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, but I have different aspirations now. I should show you guys all my books. This one's awesome. Mastering Python Networking.
Is that for software networking stuff?
Kinda.
It's called?
It's just
SDN?
automation. We have mastering blockchain. This is what I've been digging into recently. I spilled Red Bull all over it when I was at the airport, like a fucking idiot.
Ah. Yeah. You have your
CCIE
CCIE?
is a joke. What's that?
Have your CCIE?
No. I did the written. I passed, but I never took the lab because I knew I wasn't ready. And then my life I got involved with a woman.
Fair. Yeah, my professor who taught me all this stuff where I used EvenG as a CCIE. You can literally go in the CCIE Hall of Fame and you can just find them there if I were to go look right now. That stuff is insane, man. I don't think I'd ever get my CCIE. The prep for that stuff, from what I've heard, and like everything else is just insane.
It's not really. I'm not sure it's worth it. Like doing the actual studying. Like if you can commit to doing the studying, that is certainly worth it. And maybe, a year, 2, 3 years down the line, maybe you decide, okay, I'll finally try the CCIE because I have all the hours on the books. But the studying is what's going to make everything stick, and it's going to give you everything that the CCNA and the CCNP don't give you. So if you were to go to, I really like the INE labs. They might have changed quite significantly since I've done them. But if you're doing just CCNA, CCNP, once you pass those, you don't necessarily have all the stuff that you need to know and really the complete understanding's not there, in my opinion. Like I didn't really feel confident with certain topics like IPsec, DMVPN, certainly not BGP. Even though there's a lot of that unneededly covered in CCNP. But even I don't know. Even though you end up learning it and you know it decently well, it's like when you get on the job, even working with some of the basic stuff, they don't give you a realistic approach to it, and they don't give you necessarily what you need to know to do the basics. I don't know.
That's fair.
I have a free iPad I can give away for Christmas.
Nice. I'll take it.
Wait until I finish the story on this stupid device. I was in high school and my sister found it in the middle of the road, completely run over. So I rebuilt the entire thing. I had to get a new back, like a new frame and new glass, and a couple other parts. I think the volume button and whatnot was broken. Fixed it, got it working. My dad used it for work for quite some time, and then he gave it back to me. I want to say a year ago, I sold it on eBay, was getting ready to ship it out, so turned it on to reset it, and it was like iPad disabled. Now, usually, if you guys know anything about this kind of stuff, it's usually because there's like an iCloud lock, whatever. It's like, okay, I'll just enter in my email. And it wasn't working. So I called Apple, and I sent them the IMEI number, which is the number for the identification serial number for every Apple device, and they said it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So this iPad is as good as a paperweight or a textbook that I have.
Nice.
It's as good as my 2022 federal tax book. Completely useless. So I just sit this on it. I'm just sitting on this. That's how I got my first iPad, middle of an intersection, 1, 2, 3, 4 passcode. Chris Bagnell sent it to me. I'll introduce it to my 339 level.
Now,
I don't want
Wayne,
to
have you dabbled in any like Python?
Yeah, Python was one of my only classes that involved like scripting or programming. A lot of it was very basic stuff, like grabbing hardware information off a computer and just storing it as a text file and making it look pretty. Or, God, what's another really old one we learned? Socket connections. All the stuff I learned at school was like really old stuff. So think like Windows Server Manager, like 2000 or 2008, 2006. Yeah, super old school stuff. And then my program actually got sunsetted, so they completely removed it. And then they introduced this like totally new IT program. Like, you're learning AWS, Terraform, Kubernetes, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I really got fucked over.
That's where it's at though. So
Yeah.
if I could, trade 3 or 4 years of studying random Cisco proprietary knowledge, I looked at so much different stuff like design, data center. Never really tested for them, but really like had the aspirations, wanted to learn it. It certainly helped with salary, but if I could go back, learning AWS, I dabbled in it for about a year, as well as Azure, like really learning it inside out, learning, the different systems, learning Linux, which I know, but just I'm nowhere near as confident as I wish I was. That whole plus, like what you're saying, Terraform. What was the other one?
That's great.
For management of hell, I forget what it's called that they use.
Patrick Murphy says AWS and QuickBooks. If it's good enough for FTX, it's good enough for me. Azure, you just brought up.
Ansible.
Oh,
So I had
Ansible.
a buddy.
Fuck Ansible. Oh my god, I'm so bad with making playbooks.
Dude, I had a buddy who, but it was about 3 years in. We were both. So there was a few people. One of them came on the stream last night, Michael. There's a few people. We all got involved around the same time, and he ended up learning Python. He was like, "Dude, check this out. You gotta check out Python." And I did a little bit, but I think I'm gonna stick with Cisco. Then he goes, "Oh, I'm learning Ansible now. This is awesome. I think this is the next big thing." And this is right before Ansible playbooks got real big. That dude ended up making 120 grand a year with Ansible, writing playbooks. He worked for Red Hat. He was killing it. And I think my salary at the time was like 92,000. Big difference. That was, 5 years into all this. But, man.
I feel like learning stuff in your own time, you become more dedicated as well. The company I work for now used to be an intern at, and I remember my first 2-3 months I just had the worst imposter syndrome because I was coming off like using just school stuff. So like I said, Windows Server Manager, and we had an onboarding for someone, and I was like, okay, well, it's my first day here, like I'll just take a stab at it. I asked my manager, I was like, what version of Windows Server Manager are you using? He's like, no, we use Azure here. I was like, what the fuck is that? But I feel like in the year I've been working, I've come a long way. I went from help desk to I was doing sysadmin stuff for a bit. Now I'm just focusing more on some networking stuff.
Nice. Yeah. It happens to everyone at one point or another. Imposter syndrome. I don't know when I really felt it was. I think after when I first worked at a managed service provider, and there's 2 times I really felt it, and it was like when you realize what you don't know. So when I first walked into this managed service provider, it was an internet service provider as well. It was like I had the title lead network engineer. No one realized I was the youngest one there, of course. This was like a year after getting out of the Marine Corps too. But I studied CCIE so much up to that point, like the interview process was a breeze. Like I just completely knocked it out of the park. But that was by chance because they asked questions that were technical, but they didn't get into all the other peripheral stuff that you'd want someone to know as a network engineer. So working with firewalls like real heavy for the first time, and like seeing all the screw ups that were being made, not by me, but by like previous vendors that managed the IT, and then being like, I got to learn this stuff. That really drove me. And then when I went to, when I interviewed for a couple different managed service providers, and I was really good on the protocol side. Like you can learn all day about EIGRP and BGP and spanning tree and how all the inner workings of the appliance work, but I didn't really understand the hardware part, where like scoping out different um, different appliances where you're on a budget, but you need to have a specific amount of dedicated hardware for dedicated processes, whatever it may be, a firewall or an edge router, etc. And it was like I was lost when it came to that. And there's a couple interviews I just got blown out of the water by. So yeah, you could. It's gonna come and go for you. You feel on top of the world sometimes, and then it's like the books didn't teach me this.
Yeah, that's fair. Could say amen to that all day, man.
And that's something I was working with a couple guys on here with the past few days, scoping out different appliances for their gig, and being Red Panda too. He's a network consultant.
Oh shit.
But, yeah, trying to figure out, like, is this appliance going to have all of the services and specs that are needed to handle what this company can do on a budget? Is a whole different aspect of design than just talking about what protocols you're going to use within the network, which is something Cisco so heavily focuses on when it comes to the actual certifications or the protocols, but not the actual design part. Am I boring you guys in the chat? We actually have quite a few network engineers in the chat right now.
This is one of the reasons I subscribed to you. When I first found your YouTube channel and you brought up like your past history, I was like, damn, I know what this guy's kind of saying. I subscribed to
How long
So
have you been watching for?
God, a year and a half maybe.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I
then
appreciate it.
yeah, I've always wanted to come talk to you guys. Like I've been watching you for a while too, Chris. I remember following with your Revo 5 videos. Those are absolute bangers, man. I fucking love those. I just rewatch them for fun sometimes because they're just
Thanks.
so well put together.
Appreciate that.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, it kind of ties into like my whole accounting gig. Like I really enjoy auditing, even though it's like a disgusting career path. It's just like when the auditors come into firms, they give them just like they're like not treated as humans because auditing is just awful and you got to work shit hours and all that stuff. But getting to do like the Revelify stuff, if I could like audit, basically like find the financials and stuff on firms and projects like that in the crypto space, I mean, that'd be really fun. And I did enjoy doing it PowerPoint style, like it was a school presentation. I think that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Were you the one that found out that RevoFi, when they had their like shipping labels put on the boxes, they were the same ones? Were you the one to find that, or was that
Yeah.
someone else?
Yeah.
That was I would have never caught that, man. That
Yeah.
was-
So I forget how that went down, but basically they posted something in their announcements for it, and I think I saved the image like as soon as it was posted because I wanted to use it for video, and then I went back and looked at it later, or I think maybe my browser wasn't refreshed, but I looked at it on my phone and it wasn't there, so then I went back on my computer and it was still the old image, so I saved the image, and then I could see that it was edited and they hid it all, and then I looked it all up, and a whole bunch of people in some various Discord servers were helping actually track down where the labels were going to. So it was really cool finding all that stuff out. Like the journey is definitely more fun than the destination.
Yeah.
RevoFi to the moon.
I disagree. I'm waiting for the destination. I'm waiting for the promised land. But
Joe, you're telling me 4 days until crypto Christmas with wow, I'm stuttering. It's a lot of alliteration. 4 days until crypto Christmas with Chris Bagnell and Joe at Network Bits is not. You're not enjoying this journey.
Okay, this is fine. This is good. No, but I was looking at the RevoFi Twitter today, and they're still at it.
Oh,
they're
They're not going to admit defeat. Now I don't know.
recycling
Did
tweets.
Justin step down? What the deal is?
Joe, I just looked in the unofficial RevoFi server today, and RevoKind is making a comeback. They're
Really?
launching their 50-year plan And I just read about that today, and they're just ripping them apart. But their whole server closed down. Like the Revelfy server, they shut it all down. So it's just announcements now because of what we did. It just ruined their.
This is the
their
problem.
company.
When you expose the scam, then you become the fall guy. When everything goes wrong, the people who called out all the mistakes that were happening are the fudders. They're the reason all the momentum was lost. They're the reason everything's not coming to fruition. They discouraged the, whatever, the core community, and all the chargebacks are the reason they can't turn a profit, yada, yada, yada.
Well, if they delivered a real product and a real network,
Oh, we'd have to grow, wouldn't we?
Joe, we've fudded on Helium plenty of times, and it still is, you can say all things considered, a successful project. Red Panda mining, if you...
Revo? A waste of time.
Yeah.
It's another scam project that we busted out.
It basically was like in the massive IoT space. That
Okay, so no,
was booming.
This is what Revelfy wanted to be. This
7-in-1.
Yeah, they wanted to be like what Flux is doing, plus Helium, plus
Google Mesh,
Wi-Fi DABA mesh.
Yeah,
which is just such a complete pipe dream, especially for the product that they were pitching. Okay?
They were going to be like a VPN thing too, right?
They were going to be everything under the sun.
They had
They
storage.
were the all-in-one compute solution.
Listen, Red Panda Mining. I don't know if Joe made like a video in the very beginning, but I made a video like going over each device so you can see all of the beauty that they encompassed. I don't even think it's up anymore, but you can also view it on like the Wayback Machine if you don't want to watch it.
You gotta watch the video then if you haven't seen it, Red Panda. It's really good, honestly. For you exposing all their stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right. There's just so much stuff like with the NASA and the Olympics.
We're going to do all this on a Jetson Nano.
Yeah. And they partner with NVIDIA,
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, retelling NVIDIA's service. Now look, maybe I have to eat a little bit of crow here because Flux is successfully doing what Revelfy wanted to do in a sense.
Okay.
But they're using much better equipment. They have a much better model. They have better marketing. They have better programmers. They have a larger community, and they are working within a lane. Unlike Revelfy, it was just all over the place. This spaghetti monster of a vision. It was unrealistic, and there's certain people I know were not happy with me who peddled this crap. And when I made the video, and you too, Chris, dunking on Revelfy and calling the BS for what it was, just laying out facts, they're like, it's just Joe fudding again. He's hating on another project. Yeah, I will sit here and hate on projects all day because there's no shortage of shit projects to hate on that other YouTubers are going to peddle. Sorry, not sorry.
How do you guys feel about Planet Watch? I know you guys brought that up last time.
I'm not a fan.
This bad boy. It's another paperweight I can add to the box.
Did you set up your Pi-Fi stuff yet?
No, so I was gonna like the purpose of the video yesterday was to see how difficult it was to set up Pi-Fi, and I failed on step 4, which was having a GPS device. So actually, they reached out to me and they're gonna send me one, and I'm gonna try and pair it with this sensor, which is the Wear Element, which is no longer useful on the Planet Watch network. So you can pick these up really, really cheap on eBay, and it's pretty sick. I can plug it in real quick and see how it. It's basically just like a glorified. It's actually kind of a dumbed
Don't you worry,
down.
man. I've got one.
Oh, all right. Why isn't it plugged in, man? Are you?
I took it out.
You looking at Pi-Fi? Are you looking?
Yeah,
into
I'm looking at it as well. I think I stumbled across Joe's video for it, but I mean, it's pretty neat for just like normal use. It's still, yeah. At least it shows you some stuff. I have one just sitting at my girlfriend's place. She has no idea about like the Type 4 fiasco and stuff. She just likes seeing her air quality.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was pretty neat because I have. It's pretty funny. I have literally every helium device ever in a box right next to me, but I have the Dragino LHT65, which is this little temperature and humidity sensor. I've talked about it so many times in videos, but it's got a I think it's there's only humidity on the inside, and then there's a little probe with this massive cord it connects, and that will work for the outside. It tells you the temperature, humidity. I always thought that was cool. This was cool. I thought this was the purpose of helium, was to use little devices like this to capture data, send data. So with Planet Watch, I didn't really see the use for it because I felt like all that stuff could be onboarded onto the Helium network. Anyway, Helium's done nothing with any of this data. They have the Helium console, which they constantly push updates to, but can't use it for anything. Pretty much, it just allows you to export it, and it's like local use. Like if you need to track, like just stupid stuff. Like, but there's like the sensors that you can put on golf carts and stuff, and inventory tracking. So that it's all maybe large corporations are using it, and they have Helium devices set up in the vicinity, but I don't know, man.
I have a use case for the sensors right now. I can't remember which models I have, but I bought a bunch recently. Let me go grab it.
Ursa Prime has a Revify micro device. Dude, I would, if I can pay for shipping and borrow it for video, I would love to make a video with that device in hand. I was also thinking maybe I could reach out to Justin. Maybe he'll send me a device.
This one, oh yeah, this one's the soil temperature. Yeah. I have I got. How did I even come across this guy? I think I was just at a networking event for a tech expo, and this guy has a farm and a greenhouse, and he's like explaining to me how all of it works for grants. So in Canada, if you can collect readable and useful information for your farm or greenhouse, and the government, says it's like usable for whatever they want, they can give you a grant towards your farm, and it can go towards expanding it. And so I've had, I think, 3 of these out on one of his greenhouses, just monitoring just the temp or the quality of the soil, and I used Data Cake to make it all readable and accessible for him as well. And
Data Cake is a nice little inventory or database dashboard.
And he's submitting the information, I think, at the end of the year, because I've been out there for 6 months. But apart from that, it's just a bunch of stuff that people were excited for at this point. Like, there's just, I have a buddy who has just like 5 sensors at home, just all laid beside his miner, just for a few extra cents every day.
I'm about to order some DoorDash here. I get scared. I don't know yet, but I get scared every time I order DoorDash. I'm worried that my ex is going to be my driver. I don't want her to know where I live. I live real close to her now, and it's not good.
A little reunion.
No.
You already have dinner delivered, man.
She can. Oh my god.
We talked about the
She'll have a fucking cow too.
A couple things. Let's go back a couple seconds.
A baby mama.
Mike, you're welcome. I watched all 3 Rush Hours today because I just finished the semester. I have nothing to do, and I pulled the cable down because it was in the way to television. Otherwise, it would have been left up. I can put it back up if you want. Ursa Prime says if you plug the Revify Micro into a computer, if you plug into the Jatson Nano, you can plug into the Ubuntu desktop. Were you actually able to do that, or is it password protected? Never trust a Canadian with a greenhouse. Yeah, how do you guys have a greenhouse if there's snow everywhere?
Here, go to Mike
Make it
Causer
work
first before we discuss HNT. He writes,
Okay.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here. Look, that is the best case scenario of what would happen. Even her spitting in my food is better than her possibly defecating in my food. That is more
You would definitely know.
Oh, man.
Wow, this cheeseburger is a little runny.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, let's go to Todorovic, and then we'll go down a little bit. So, actually, real quick, Ursa Prime says, in my opinion, Flux is the way to go. Yeah, we're I wonder, dude, if you could repurpose the Rebel 5 for Flux. That'd be hilarious.
Get out of here.
Finally make a useful project out of the thing. Anyway, what are your thoughts on today's H&T pump? We mentioned this at the very beginning, almost the beginning of the stream. Something like 93 validators or something just released their H&T, which is approximately 930,000 H&T. So in anticipation of this, some people might have bought H&T. Doesn't make sense, because if all these validators wanted to then sell their H&T, it would crash the price. But a thing to consider is when they initially put this H&T in, it was valued at least $10 per token, because it's a year. They had to lock it up for a whole year. So we can actually check the price exactly a year ago today. It was at $40 a token. So it's now valued at $2 a token, and it's 10,000 for a node, right, Joe? Is it 10,000 H&T for a node?
I think so. Is it 10,000?
So, Joe,
What?
is it 10,000 H&T for a node?
Yeah, for a validator.
So when they bought in, it was valued at $400,000. The current price is $20,000. Why would they want to sell it? It's like what, 80% loss on your investment. So I think they're just going to keep it at that point. I mean, there might be a few people that really need it, but if you look at the actual volume in the past 24 hours, it's something like 20 million, which over the past couple of days, it's been like less than 2 million. So there's definitely a lot of movement. Whether it's good or bad, we'll see. It's definitely not in line with any of the other cryptocurrencies. We've seen that before. It falls a little bit when Bitcoin falls, but it kind of carves its own path here. I fell behind on comments. Still want to play around with some sensors, would like to monitor building envelopes and hopefully be able to detect a failure before there's any serious issues. That's really, there's always some good use cases. What was referrals here? FizzTech. If you guys know what FizzTech is, they have some sensors. This is like a one-man show. It might be a little bit more people now. I'll post it in chat if you guys are interested for like sensors and stuff. I do have an affiliate link, but I'm not posting that because I'm not going to be showing myself. You need one of those voice changer devices, H&T to the moon, $40 to $2. That's insane. Yeah. $40 to $2. That'll buff out. I'm having trouble connecting. They're not allowing me to send it. There we go. Okay. Oh, I sent it twice on Joe's account. It's only sent once on mine. Oops. Sounds like a similar problem that a certain POS trader coin is having, but decided to screw your users and not allow withdrawals. If you're referring to Ethereum, I don't know if you saw the news with Coinbase, but they actually made like this. Coinbase made like their own pair off of Ethereum called like Ethereum W, which is Ethereum wrapped, and you're actually able to unstake the staked Ethereum now because some people are getting impatient, and you can then sell it for the US dollar. So the staked Ethereum now belongs to Coinbase, but they just kind of bought it from you, and now you're able to sell. The issue was a lot of these people, it's exactly the same. They stake their helium, or they stake their Ethereum. You can interchange them. It's the same thing at this point in terms of what I'm about to say, but they staked it at a really high price, probably $4,000, and now it's valued at $1,000, and they couldn't sell it. So it sucks. Not for sure which one you're talking about. Geek of Trades, right? What percentage of Helium users are just playing around with X versus using Y for business? Wayne is the only person in this chat that is using it for business, and it's not even his business, right? It's no. Yeah. So that's 1/3 maximum, probably, of 100,000 hotspots. That's probably way less.
Where I live in like Alberta, so there's like a Helium like community Discord for it. I've talked to like probably everyone in there, and it's all probably just for personal use. I think the only person, well, he's not even from Canada. The only person I watch for censor stuff for business related things is what is it, hacking this and that.
Yeah.
That's what
Him and
That's
I
what
have a
got me on.
love-hate relationship.
I feel like you have a love-hate relationship with everything, Joe.
Yeah.
Huh.
How it is.
So I wanted to show you guys these. This is the FizzTech thing. If you're on mobile, you don't want to click off stream, but it's just like some of the stuff is stupid cheap, and it makes me want to try it. Like this door sensor is only $20. The only issue is like, so this you could put on a window or you could put on a door, and it will send a signal to the console, and then you have to then export it to whatever thing you want it to do. So the whole thing I wanted to do, and I built out and here's another Rowan. It's an industrial tracker. Let's see what else they got. Water leak, temperature, humidity, GPS, all this stuff. Here's another door sensor. So whole thing I wanted to do, and maybe Wayne, you managed to get this work. I know you did data cake, but what I wanted to do is something similar. Let me pull this up real quick. On my phone, I just use Zapier. I'm sure a lot of people know what Zapier is. And I programmed it so it texts me every day with the weather. So the first thing when I open my phone, I don't have to open the app. It texts me the precipitation chance, the temperature min and max, and the summary. So like if it's going to rain or whatnot. And I manually set that all up. The whole thing I wanted to do with the helium sensor was set it up so that it would send it to, let's say, a spreadsheet, but maybe there was an easier way to do it. I know DataCake, you kind of have to pay, and it's weird, but I wanted it to send like a notification to my phone, whether I had to build an app or whatnot, wasn't sure. But it was just like not done before with the console and everything, so I had a hard time figuring that out. I ended up just not doing it, sticking with Zapier because it's just using like the local government data, and I don't have to capture it. Leads to the point of what's the point of getting these temperature and humidity stuff if it's just done by the government? Some of it is just not needed.
I think with the business case stuff too, you have to get super lucky. Like I mentioned, this guy came to like a tech expo for agriculture stuff. I don't think if I met him, I probably would just have all these sensors in my backyard.
USA Prime says there was no password on the Revify Micro Ubuntu. I have photos on the Revify unofficial Discord. I can share photos with you guys. So let me know which platform. If you send them, it's funny. Mike said exactly my thoughts with HiveMapper. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. HiveMapper could have a use case because look at how Helium is performing. Because IoT has been around before Helium, and they still managed to get a successful project out there because they had the right marketing, right funding, all this stuff.
Successful.
Well, they made their money. You know,
Hey,
if they were to close their doors.
You know what? Go ahead.
I said if they were to close their doors, I would say that they were profitable in the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that. I think a lot of their issues are self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Because of stubbornness and I don't know. It's a shame.
What are some issues you have with HiveMapper then? I haven't really looked too much into it apart from listening to you guys talk about it on your podcast.
Well, Mike, I think what Mike's trying to say is the same issue with HiveMapper would be with like the sensors on the Helium network is because that data is already available. You already have Google Maps, you already have Waze and satellites, all this stuff. Tesla has, everyone has their own individual thing, and the data is getting better and better and better. And then you have Tesla with like its magical AI system that's tracking cars and everything, and now all the other brands are bringing on and that stuff. So HiveMapper, to me, I think it would be beneficial when there's construction, because like I think about how Waze is right now. if I don't use Waze anymore, but when I did, it would tell you if there's like a slowdown because people report it. It would tell you if there's a cop because people would report it, if a road's closed and whatnot. I got a ticket with Google Maps because it told me to turn left, and I'm looking at the sign and it says don't turn left. And I'm like, I'm gonna follow Google Maps because I figured the technology would know better, and there's a cop sitting right there. So
Nice.
situations like that, and I had to go to court to get it all lowered. It was ridiculous. But situations like that where there's a, I'm not supposed to turn, that data needs to be, out there. And like there's also a Wawa near my school that just opened up. If I look at Google Maps, because it just took the picture before the Wawa is, when I look at Google Maps, it's literally a flat plot of land that's being constructed on. So there's some use case just to keep things updated, because now we're in like this, industrial boom. Always everything's changing. It's not going to be. It's kind of exactly how helium is right now, where it's rampant in the cities. It's severely overpopulated. I think HiveMapper would actually benefit from being in the cities, being overpopulated because of the constant change, the constant traffic. But like in areas like Lancaster, Pennsylvania, like
Lancaster.
yeah, with all the Amish, it's just I mean, they're on horse and buggies anyway, but
Hey,
there's not much going on there. It's kind of the
yeah, I
same.
think there's definitely. Look, you can make all the cases that you want about competitors, and that's to go for any business. There's plenty of points to be made, but you're taking a completely new business model to a place where there's certainly demand. There's a potential you could lower the overhead of what it actually costs to build out that information, and you could extract that information. You can extract that information much more frequently and more easily, and compile it, many times over within the time that it takes for the competition, which is a fleet of Google cars, with someone that being their day job. I mean, so I certainly think it's worth a shot. Now, to get to what Red Panda Mining is asking me, he says, is the success of all these telecom crypto projects predicated on the price or actually use case? And you follows up, people wouldn't use the word scam or bad project if everything wasn't down per se. And I agree with that second statement there, but it would have to be use. And the use should be directly correlated in price. Now, helium might be an exception in the manner that how much actual usage do you need for it to have a direct impact on the price? When it comes to the IoT side, it would be astronomical, and it's almost improbable from that standpoint, unfortunately, unless they were to tweak the cost of usage, which could easily be done. But back to the initial question, is it predicated on the price or the actual usage? For people, it would be the price, right? But for the founders, it would be usage. And there are numerous different, you call them TIPINs, token incentivized public infrastructure networks, that are out there, whatever it may be. You have the RF based ones, right? Helium, Pollen Mobile, XNet. All those are 5G ones, and then you also have the IoT ones. Helium is also IoT. You have Crank, Chirp Wireless, Things IX, then all the other scammy ones, right? Then you have other types of networks, whether they be data based or you have like streamer, right? So you're actually streaming data with the option to pull a multicast feed for that data you want to subscribe to. You have stuff like Planet Watch, um, Pi-Fi, numerous other ones.
RevoFi.
Yeah. Data specific ones, 2Blocks, Demo, Hive Mapper. I guess look at it from the perspective of Flux. You know Flux well enough, but what would be the end result there? What would be the success story from Flux? For the company, it's utilization of the infrastructure that was built out, regardless of the token price. But you actually need to utilize. Then you need, when the infrastructure is being utilized, you're paying for that utilization through the token, which pumps the price. Does that make sense? I mean, it's a long-winded answer, but I couldn't tell you. I'm trying to look at it from a balanced perspective of price, people, and the actual utilization and people being incentivized here.
I like what he just said. It seems use case has been talked about more so now than in the 2021 bull run. I think, we're all pretty much, I don't want to say victims, but like, because it's not like it's a bad thing, but in the bull run, everything is moving so quickly, and you can even apply this to GPU and ASIC mining, that you're constantly trying to find the next best thing. And if you see something, even with a slight chance of succeeding in a bull run, most of us jump on it, which is why people like us jumped onto RevoFi, even though it was a bull run and we saw that it had use case, but we didn't look into it. We just saw, okay, Helium succeeding, Helium blew up, RevoFi has to blow up because it's Helium +1. So we bought into that, and look what happened. So you can do the same thing with GPU mining with like coins like Cadena, which I know you have some bittersweet with it, but like, did that actually have use case, or did it only go up in value because of the bull run? And now we're starting to see, now that everything has gone down in price and everything, now we're seeing the people that are really serious about crypto, the people that have been sticking around, whether they want to or not, because they kind of got screwed over during the bull run with all the Helium miners they bought. Now they're trying to find products that have real use case and real purpose. So that's why you're going to start to see some projects that they're going to be really slow growth, but they're going to build a really strong community, and their device is going to be really strong and ready for when the next bull run hits. We're going to have devices. I think like the next contenders are probably going to be like Demo, Hive Mapper, and I'm just thinking IoT, but like the ones that kind of didn't have their chance during this past bull run, just because they launched a little bit too late. They're pretty much just going to be kind of just coasting and just waiting until the next bull run comes, and they're just going to come on in, and they're going to launch their device, and they're going to go to the moon, and this is financial device direct from Joe.
Sure. No, but these companies, I think one of Helium's biggest mistakes was not understanding the crypto landscape, which it's very hard to do so because it's an extremely volatile space. There's not a whole lot of data to go off of, and we didn't expect so much of a IoT compute boom that we've seen. No, I don't think anyone would have been able to sit there and tell you the next iteration of this mining is the alternative to GPU, ASIC, CPU mining with blockchain, rather than now we're looking at tokenized, so token incentivized public infrastructure networks, TIPINs, right? Or Web3 would be another one. Maybe some people could have predicted that one because the writing was specifically on the wall when Ethereum was talking about building out layer 2s to build the new backbone of the internet on. The point being here is there is such a significant amount of development that has to be done in the background, and that's why you hear so many of these level-headed projects saying we prefer the bear market, because there's no rage about price. There's no just surge demand with these unrealistic expectations. Take into consideration what you think is fair market value for any coin given the respective infrastructure and service that they provide. Is Helium was it really ever worth $55, or was that just this crazy speculation where, you know, whatever analytical information, whatever, I don't know what you'd want to call it, that the oracles are basing the projected price off of? Is that realistic? Is the, you wouldn't call it, you call it the equilibrium, not necessarily the flywheel. Some people use those terms interchangeably, but the flywheel equilibrium of actual data credit usage versus burn. And same thing with every other project. Is there actually that much utilization of the network services being offered versus speculation? And when you see these massive bull runs, the answer, in my opinion, is unequivocally no.
You've seen multiple times there's been corrections in the prices of the cryptocurrencies because they've been inflated, like straight up, due to loans and stuff on the market. And
Yeah.
you'll see the price of things drop. So a lot of the, I mean, pretty much anything with a price on it is artificially inflated at some point, you can argue. So, yeah, helium. I mean, the thing that really gets me is the coin market cap chat when people are saying helium to $100. And what Joe mentioned in the beginning of the stream, people predicting Bitcoin's going to go to like $100,000 in the next 5 years. I've been seeing those articles for the past 5 years that Bitcoin, Litecoin's going to go to 5,000, and there's these charts, and they're writing, you know, a downward arrow and an upward arrow, and it's just all a bunch of a FUD. Whether it's positive or negative, these people are mostly doing it because they have some sort of stake in the project. I know I enjoyed making helium videos because I had helium devices. I thought it was cool, and the more people that got in, the better in the beginning.
Yeah, into that.
I believed, and whether it be rightly or wrongly, that by applying the expertise that I had and belief that I could make better content than the vast majority of content creators out there. Chris, are you keeping up with the comments, or do I have to take over as your producer again?
I'm on. I'm talking in the Revify chat right now. I'm securing a device.
What was I going to say here? I believe that by making that content and trying to strengthen the community, trying to strengthen the infrastructure, you know, just telling people, here's how to best increase your earnings, how to strengthen your setup. Here's the realistic expectations. Here's what to understand about how the system functions. That it would be like a way to pump my investment without it actually being any sort of like a scam or, you know, a degenerate move, so to speak. You know, just good hard work in the crowdsourced model. Like I said, rightly or wrongly, whether that be the case, I forget what I was getting at here, but that was me being a content creator.
I just realized Red Pet Mounting is talking about Flux. Flux already kind of has a use case that you could argue with their Zelcore wallet. So it's already doing pretty well. I use the Zelcore wallet. Every single person that has to use a Flux node uses the Zelcore wallet. So they already have a pretty substantial user base based on the number of nodes. The number of nodes is, I mean, roughly how many wallets there are. I know there's a lot of people that have multiple nodes on the same wallet, but Soren was the greatest helium YouTuber.
Look, let me tell you right now, Soren is a great helium YouTuber. He's entertaining. He's effective in his messaging, although he is not correct on a good amount of things that he says. I hope he wins Content Creator of the Year award in the Helium Nobel Prizes, and I will gladly vote for him just to once again stick it to helium.
Voscoin's probably, I don't know. It's probably, I completely forgot about those awards. It's already been a year. Yeah, because Voscoin clearly won.
You guys ever looked into GeoNet?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
As someone said earlier, Patrick Guillen said earlier, Hawk asks, what problem are you fixing? We talked about this in a stream a couple days ago. GeoNet is weather related, correct? GeoNet and WeatherXM are kind of like, they came out at the exact same time, and it's almost, I'm pretty sure it's almost the same device in terms of what it's providing. So it's just like another thing, do we really need it? Because the government issues out all of this data. Like there's government networks in the US, at least. I don't know if it's worldwide, but all of the temperature data is all collected in like a non-biased entity that collects it. So GeoNet is not weather. There's so many of these projects.
It's like the ones you connect to satellites and stuff, and I think that's pretty much all I know about that one. I looked into it for a little bit. I mean, are any of you guys doing WeatherXM as well?
I was going to buy a device, but I missed the one drop that I actually had the money to buy it, and then I didn't have the money afterward.
That's fair.
It might be. Are they cheaper now? Maybe they are.
No, they're not cheaper.
That sucks.
I have one just running in my backyard. Yeah. I have one running in my backyard right now, and I'm still waiting for my helium version to come. But they're still on testnet. I think their paper comes out at the end of the year. That's the term, GNSS positioning for GeoNet.
Huh. Which is, I mean, like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I see so many of these projects as like, theoretically, I think they're very cool.
Yeah, all these things are sick. Like, even the devices look really neat.
I think half the reason why I buy them is because they look cool. I'm a big hardware guy.
It's such a low cost to operate, unlike, you know, mining the traditional way with GPUs and ASICs. It's like, you know, you have to seriously calculate the electricity cost versus this. It's like, oh, I only need to make an additional $3 a month to power 3 of these devices. That's nothing. That's like me not buying a Sprite cranberry at McDonald's or something.
619 OTA brought up he's doing both the WeatherXM and GeoNet. Are you doing the remote mining stuff as well that they have going on in India? And then for your helium version for WeatherXM, have you played around and set it up yet? Is it like the same thing as just onboarding a normal one, if you have a normal one?
Wayne's already a pro at streaming.
Trying to catch up. Yeah, I always wanted to do one of these with you guys. I felt like just coming out of the rabbit hole and showing my face and talking to you guys. I feel like it adds something as well, you know.
Yeah,
every now and then.
I like talking to people other than Joe in the nicest way possible. I think conversation
mutual.
I think live streams and stuff work with 3 people or more. I think 2 people is a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think I spend my entire day either talking to coworkers or my girlfriend and then my family. So it's good to see some new faces, and it's always nice to just strike up conversations with, you know, people focused on the same similar things as you. I don't really think I have any friends who like talking about stuff I bring up, so I rarely do because it bores them so much.
I think I just got kicked from the Revelify server.
Good job.
Oh wait, no, it's right here. I thought you got kicked for posting the link to the stream. All right, we didn't. All right, we're good. Can you guys hear me typing?
It's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, my setup is completely changed. I'm just trying things out. I think I finally figured out after 6 years with this microphone optimal settings when it works, when it's not pulling from my webcam.
For your school, were you living on res? Did you just like come home, or have you just been?
Yeah, I'm home right now. I was living in Long Branch, New Jersey, like literally on the beach. I was 200 feet from the ocean. It's pretty cool.
You get homesick?
No. I just moved. Like I moved last weekend, so this is my new. So I don't. I'm still adjusting to this. So.
Man, You're a busy guy, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I try to make videos. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm really trying here. I wish like I said this in last night's stream. Like the hardest part for me is finding topic. Joe, are you muted? Oh, you are muted. The hardest part for me is Joe. You're muted. Okay. The hardest part for me. The hardest part for me is finding the content to make the videos on. I don't want to make a video on like a weird coin that I like. I want to believe in the project. Like I believed in Revify when I made the first video on it.
I think that's why I followed you guys the most, or at least keep up with your videos the most compared to most other YouTubers. And then I know this was brought up like probably 20-30 minutes ago, but with you guys making YouTube videos and trying to bring in a better or a bigger audience, I feel like it's just hard to attract a crowd that's just so involved with something so niche as well, right? Like it's not every day you can just go up to a guy and show him a sensor. He's like, oh yeah, I got like 10 of those.
I don't know a single person that knows about helium in like real life. Everyone I've talked to, even if they say they're into crypto, I'll be like, oh, have you heard about helium? Like, what are you talking about? I know about Dogecoin. I'm like, oh, so you're not into crypto. You just are following Twitter ads to buy Dogecoin. See ya, Geek of All Trades. Thanks for stopping by. Mining King, feel free to join, dude.
Sorry, I was on a call for. I was ordering stuff from DoorDash.
Got it. GeoNet makes GPS devices more accurate by detecting space weather and how it impacts GPS signals. So you say that, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but how do they sell this data to GPS company? Like I just don't understand. Like explain it to me like I'm 7. Durka says, I thought you hated Revify. Didn't you do a video on them being a scam? Yes, that's why I think it would be hilarious if I got one of their devices and made a video on it.
I want a Revify device for my crypto graveyard.
Crypto graveyard.
Maybe I'm sure, listen, Joe, we won't be able to get them now, but maybe in a couple of months, once more than 3 devices ship out, we'll be able to get our hands on one.
Yeah.
Everyone I know still crypto is a scam. Not sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not streaming every night. You don't have to stream every night. You just gotta pop on and say what's up, man. Say what's up.
What's up, man?
I feel
Man.
Say what's up, and then you can
Man.
leave.
I feel what
Man.
Lil Stanky said though. It's hard to bring up topics like that, especially with diehard guys who are just into stocks. Like most of my friend group or family, just bring up like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and they're like, "Oh, that garbage stuff. Why do you do that? Do you like yourself?" And then you're just arguing with them back and forth, and you just want to have a beer with your friend instead.
Yeah.
No,
I could go for a beer right now. Let me tell you. Oh,
Where's the liquor?
though
You guys
the
are supposed to
majority
do
of their 401ks are going into BS companies that royally are being mismanaged based on political ideology. We're the ones that are jacked up with crypto.
Change is hard, man. Not a lot of people like it. I'm sure you can say that.
been a lot of change going on in the past like 3 weeks for me. Look, 2 things I want to mention before I forget. First, forgot the liquor. I apologize.
Good job.
I was just kind of a last minute. I didn't even do much today, but it kind of just lost track of time, and then I was like, oh crap, I have to stream. So possibly have it tomorrow. Maybe get some Red's apple. Yeah. Second thing, I wanted to show you guys my coin collection, but we'll do that tomorrow. If anyone wants to see that, it shouldn't take long, maybe like 15-20 minutes. I don't know. I mean, when we were talking about coins the other day, everyone was like talking about, oh, I used to collect all this stuff. So it really is fun. Like I just got these 2. I got a Dogecoin. This is silver. This 1 ounce silver. I got 1 ounce silver Ethereum and 1 ounce silver Litecoin, which is all just like super sick. Like
Yeah. Where do you buy them from? Can you post it in the chat? I wanna
yeah,
take a
yeah,
look.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's a legitimate site, and they accept crypto. That's why I wanted to get it. Or that's why I was so excited, because another use case for crypto. It's a little bit more expensive but it's not even noticeable. I'm like a platinum member on this site, so
You have a referral link I can use then?
no, I don't think there's referral links.
Fair. Dirk says block create. It's a scam. That's why
Oh.
mine is a paperweight.
But if you have a block create,
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna bring in another gentleman
I
here.
need
Another
that,
call in. Patrick Guillen. Welcome to the stream.
welcome, Patrick.
Howdy, howdy. Apologize for the terrible lighting, but how are you, fellas?
Good. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Just living the dream, you know.
The dream fair.
Just finished up my work orders for the evening and gonna head on back home.
Nice. Do you want this, Chris? I'll ship it to you. I don't use
Oh my gosh, that'd be so great. That'd be so great. That'd be so
I'll
great.
even pay for shipping as like
that's-
as you finishing your first semester for grad
Thank
school.
you.
Is it
That
first
is
semester?
that's first semester grad school. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Fuck it,
amazing.
man. I'll can I drop my? I'll just drop my Discord and you can add me.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
ship it.
I was looking at them last night on eBay, and they're selling for $250 for the like pink version. Like it's some weird different version, but I wanted to find the original one, which is like literally a brick. It doesn't even work. I wanted to say for the American Precious Metals Exchange that I just posted, that website, if you use Honey, I don't know if you have Honey, but it gives you huge cash back because you're buying like precious metals. So yeah, but that's the only kind of discount I can offer you. So
Better than nothing, right?
yeah.
But why do you want one of these? Is it just so you can show it off as like a nightlight or something?
What color is it?
Colors? Fuck, that's a good question, man. I'll plug it in later and I'll let you know.
Well, no, like we found out about that project and we wanted to buy into it, and it was a device made by like a child. Like
Yeah.
he was not 18 and he made this, and I think he got the starter money from his mom. Like there's this whole backstory behind it, and people were calling it out for being a scam, and now it seems like it's kind of turning into a legitimate project. But like the Generation Zero ones, like I wanted to get my hands on one of those, but I wasn't going to spend a lot of money on it. It's crazy. There should be a private chat. Oh yeah, there's a private chat for just the people here. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'll drop it in there.
Sending my address out like it's candy this past couple of days.
Old boy's beating his pussy on stream over there.
Oh yeah. Yes, Mike, I have a cat. This is the Network Bits mascot. He has one eye.
He's a one-eye bandit, hey?
Oh, you're in the crypto lab.
Yeah.
I don't talk in there anymore.
I don't think I've ever talked in there. I just lurk.
The cat is named Snickers.
We should troll some Discord streams. Once we get enough people on these live streams, we're gonna start doing raids.
We can do so much stuff, man. We could start gaming. We can start gaming the Helium Network together. And
Yeah. I'm gonna go into Orange Financial, and I'm going to write.
we can sword fight with helium antennas. I want to break one. I want to see how they break. I'll make a video on it. It's not like I can use it for anything.
That's fair.
I went into I went into Orange Financial, and I wrote, "I jerk off every morning."
I don't get it. Is that supposed to be like a?
It's supposed to be funny.
Oh, I thought that was just like your daily routine.
It is.
Some people start their day, some people
Next I'm
finish
going to
their
be
day.
like President Zelensky, where I play the piano with my cock.
Dude, how are these monetized? It blows my mind. Not for long.
Chris, everyone's on my stream now, bro.
Yeah, I have one person watching, but
Sorry.
it's okay.
All right, we're building you up. We'll keep
That's all right.
streaming every night with you.
Well, you
I
have the
think
algorithm.
he was, I think Zelensky over there is trying to get a duet going with William Murderface. Metalocalypse? You guys never saw that?
I have not.
Ah, it's terrific.
Many,
It's a
many
heavy
years
metal
ago,
anime. It's
I liked it.
more like, yeah, it's more like an American animation, American cartoon, but it's like a
You're
heavy
too
metal
young.
band, and the bass player plays bass with his cock sometimes. But yeah,
That reminds me of cock magic on South Park.
cock magic, do tell.
Dude, I am so excited.
It was roosters that played Magic the Gathering, and the children were like doing it, and the dad was like, "Oh, you guys know about cock magic?" And he's actually like doing stuff, doing magic with his dick. And the kids are like, "What are you talking about?" They were like traumatized. So funny.
Now
man.
I'm gonna
It's so
talk
many
some
kids.
BS here. I watched this. Well, I guess I see now. There's this space chick crypto. This is another live stream. It has a bunch of bozos on the stream, right? And they get like 100 viewers at any given time. She has 2K subscribers. They show Voltoshi and all these different shit coins.
Can we
I
get in
almost want to
trouble?
raid the stream.
I was just gonna say, can we get in trouble for that? Like,
What?
are there any repercussions for raiding a stream and talking?
I don't know.
Say what? I want to look that up before.
So
we do
I'm
anything.
going to do.
Crypto Zoo. Oh,
I'm going to do a.
Wasn't that like an online
Oh.
fake zoo?
that was Logan Paul or Jake Paul's NFT project, and it just never worked. CryptoZilla did a good video about it.
Oh, the one that just came out.
Copies
Well, I
of-
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
copy.
yeah.
My
I
bad.
watched Logan Paul made like a whole bunch of NFTs where there were like pictures, which I thought were pretty cool. But I didn't know about this one. Man, there were so many people. I feel like they just kind of got caught up in the scam, and they
Poll
didn't
is
realize
live
it
on my
was even-
channel.
What?
Poll is live on my channel. And we got I guess 11 people all together to do this.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many people. Tom Brady.
If you voted yes and we end up doing this, you better participate.
Yeah, when Hatch. That's a good comment.
Kitty has to move because Vosk said so. It'd be funny if I don't know if Red Panda Mining is still here, but if Red Panda Mining sold and then Vosk made a video promoting KDA and it exploded. It'd be funny if that's how it worked. That's how it all happened.
Oh, man.
All in pink
You
chain.
got 5 votes so far.
Man, you're just digging at the scabs trying to make them bleed again.
Discord has raid prevention now. Oh, that's right. Is this on Discord or is this on Twitch?
No,
What is
it's
it?
on a YouTube live stream. So we're gonna have to pull up the actual live stream.
Do you want me to pull it up on my chat? Like I can stream the screen?
Yeah, see if you can share it.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah.
Call me crazy or lazy, but H&T sounds dope. Already got the antenna up. If you call it a raid, it's probably bad. If you call it a promotion, you're an influencer.
Yeah,
That's
get your
great.
verbiage right.
Oh, they have a nice Christmas stream going too. What the hell, man?
Went to the bodega and shit. He dropped that shit.
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
See if you can pull it up, sound and all on
Ooh,
StreamYard.
Sound and all. Share system audio. Let's see. Volt Army. Hold on. I hope it doesn't double
We got
play
8
the
votes
stream.
and we're at 75%.
Can you hear this? Oh, I'm not sharing it.
Damn.
Void Walking going to miss out on the raid. On the raid. Oh, a bunch of degens here. Nine votes. Well, it looks like it's going to happen, guys. I'm about to close out this poll in a minute here. Do we have anyone else?
Oh, I've already been typing. I said scam project and when moon. Now I'm gonna say when Lambo.
All right, I'm gonna paste it.
Dude, how does she have 107 viewers with 2,000 subs, and we only have 11 viewers with 10K each, or 10K total?
Well, it's probably because she doesn't have a cock.
Exactly right.
Probably accurate, man.
But
So I
these days,
posted
you know,
the
you
link in the
got
description. Oh, I can't write rug pull.
Really?
Test.
When rug.
Oh. You should. Oh, Joe, I'm gonna DM you something. It's up to you if you want to say it. I don't know if you'll be allowed.
Good chance we're going to get ignored.
Oh, now we're getting botted right now.
It's a thought that counts. More hot girl pics for you again.
All right, I'm gonna mute that. So if you guys want to watch it, you can. But Joe, we're going on 2 hours and 40 minutes right now. That's crazy.
How long do you plan on making these streams last for?
Yeah, we're probably
It's supposed to
we're
be like
probably
an
gonna
hour.
cover tonight real soon.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like an hour long.
Are you guys doing one every day before Christmas? Is that what?
Yeah, except
Okay.
for Christmas Eve because
Yeah,
I have
obviously.
people are busy. But Christmas Day it'll be live on Joe's channel. So
I'm probably gonna hop off now, but it was good talking to you guys.
Good talking to you too, Wayne.
Yeah.
I'll,
Catch you later, man.
I'll probably try to join tomorrow. So if not, happy holidays, guys.
you too, man. Hope you have a
Alright.
safe and warm Christmas.
God. All right. See you guys later.
See ya. Joe, what are you doing, man? Trolls are out. We just got rugged. The trolls are out.
I got his attention.
Like bad.
I wrote, I hear there's a rug munch inbound.
Go for an hour, then start drinking. and
Rug
see where it
munch, a
goes from
lesbian?
there. I like what you're thinking, Duff. Listen, so tomorrow there will be beverages. And we can start off by I'll show my coin collection once we get a moderate amount of viewers because I know some people want to see that. And talking about coins is pretty cool. Take it easy, champ. Are we following each other around channels? Not sure. I don't know. Oh, you guys are just talking. Okay. And Wayne added his Discord at the bottom. If anyone wants to add him in chat, he was just on here. If you guys want to add him, thanks for stopping by, Wayne. You stayed a really long time, and we appreciate that. It was like an hour and a half, so thank you. That was a lot. That was nice. Nice to have another person to talk to. We got 10 viewers, and not a single one of them is on my stream, which is pretty epic. So thanks, guys. What else should we talk about here? How's the darkness, Patrick?
Pretty great. I can't. I'm in my truck right now, and if I put on too much light, it's kind of no bueno. So
Yeah.
when I was in town there earlier, it was all right. They had all the street lights around, but now I'm middle of nowhere, northern Minnesota, so I got nothing but darkness and snow.
How cold is it there? Like
Today
under
it's
30.
no, -6 right now.
Oh man, that sucks. I think
It's not uncomfortable yet for me. So I moved down to Minnesota a few years ago, so the winters
moved
down
down.
here for me are very mild.
you moved down. Where were you from originally?
The Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's
So
28.
we get, yeah. So our winters are more like northern Alberta's winters. You know, central northern Alberta have winters more like the UP. So in the lower 48, we definitely get more winter than anybody else.
Yeah, I don't
Dane
mind
Bayard.
the cold weather. Just the cold weather. If there's no wind, it's so easy to deal with. But it's like so rare that you get a cold day with no wind. Because it can be 30 degrees or it can be 7, and it feels the same to me if there's no wind.
Well, also the dryness.
Yeah, the dryness
If
sucks.
there's a complete lack of humidity and
I'm
it's
done
cold
watching this moron.
That sucks.
All right, first unsuccessful raid. We need more people on this stream. I think that's what we're going to title the Christmas one. How many viewers do you think we're going to get on Christmas?
That's going to be tough. We're either going to get all the people that are alone.
Yeah, I think I got banned.
Or all the people that are trying to escape from their families.
Yeah.
I know I will be on there.
All right. Any more topics we want to cover tonight? This stream is almost going on for 3 hours.
Yeah, I think we beat it that horse.
Been me ordering DoorDash. I'm so excited for this food to get here.
Oh, you were talking about your network engineering stuff, and you got really into it. So I was just letting you go. Should make
it golden days. When I had high hopes and was starry-eyed.
You made another channel for that stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to cover it, and then I had to move, and my life got blown to smithereens again.
I think you should just keep it all on one channel.
I think so too.
Because you have people like Wayne, who's not gonna find you, or he might not necessarily be interested if you make it on another channel because he might not have seen that announcement. Think about all the viewers that sub to you.
I want to do fitness challenges. How about that?
Let's do it, man. I have to stay in shape, so. Although I got a whole thing planned.
So hey Joe, when you were going on earlier about the getting your Cisco certs there, and I think I was only half listening at the time. So now weren't you making mention that they're really focused on protocols, but they don't have basically anything for infrastructure or build out?
Well, basically yes. So if you were to, it depends on what track you go for. Like if you do CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, you're not going to get a whole lot when it comes to anything aside from the protocols. You're not going to talk. Like, you know how we were talking with Mining King about specs of the routers and planning for capacity and how the different services you're going to run on the router or the switch. Like if you apply ACLs, if you apply quality of service, if you're tracking net flow, then that's going to ding your overall performance, depending on, and it also depends on whether your router or switch actually has ASICs integrated. That's what they don't tell you. They're not actually going to tell you unless you study, so if you do the design track, you're going to get more of that. So there's like CCDA, CCDP. I think that they just call it CCNA design now. I don't know. But you're not, unless you do CCIE or you do CCNA, CCNP security, you're not going to get a lot into IPsec tunnels. You're not going to get a lot into doing the security management and hardening of them devices. And I think that's problematic. Now, it looks like they're making an attempt to rectify that with their certifications. But yeah,
Yeah, because the way I've noticed the certification, now I got getting it maybe 15 years ago, and 15 years ago I could have just walked in, take the exam, and gotten it, because I already got my other pieces of paper from Microsoft and everything CompTIA had, and a few other random ones. So I was like, I might as well get this, and I just got distracted and or paid much attention to it again. But the way I saw the coursework and the classes all designed, it was more to become a network administrator, which is a very specific role, as opposed to an engineer, somebody who's more in charge of design.
Mm-hmm.
And also would necessarily need a higher level view of everything going on in order to make that design work.
Yeah, that is pretty much what it is in the very beginning. You're not going to cover a lot of design. But like if you go to the different tracks, there's also CCNA data center, CCNA security, or Cisco voice. They have CCNA, CCNP, CCIE levels for most of them. They do have like cybersecurity type of tracks now, and that will give you more of those different technologies. Ursa Prime, thanks for watching.
I was just gonna say, thanks. Keep me posted. I'll message you on Discord.
Yeah, it's changed, but much of it's still the same. I mean, you're still going to cover the basic protocols that you need to understand: spanning tree, ARP, trunking,
Get that routing down.
VLANs. Yeah, definitely a lot of routing. More routing than you really need. Does a CCNA really need to understand all the EIGRP, OSPF, RIP?
I would say yes, because if you're inheriting somebody else's fuck ups, you have to be able to get that going.
Maybe, but understanding the problem that I see with it is if you're going for CCNA, you're probably going to be in an enterprise environment. Well, typically with that level of understanding, an enterprise environment, you're not going to have a lot of routing to do. Like routing, that kind of stuff, and unless you have such a big deployment, I just don't see it, especially with like branch offices and things. Now you're talking about integrating into, are you going to use DMVPN? And if so, that's a whole level, another level of knowledge. Or are you going to use, IPsec tunnels everywhere? What else? IGPs, the amount of time spent studying for that stuff, I never had the use for it, to be honest.
And the difference between, say, an enterprise environment and, say, you're working with an integration company. Now, IT integration is a very, very specific niche. So if you've got McDonald's, some kind of franchise, right, and you've got hundreds or thousands of locations, you have probably an integration company, if not a department, who's effectively a third party that does all the management for all of your infrastructure everywhere. Now, a lot of these smaller franchise companies that say might have 500 or 1,000 locations, they might not have all of their hardware and software unified. And so you're going to have to provide support, oftentimes to a remote tech who's just going to be kind of your hands and eyes on site. And you're going to have to be diving in and out of unfamiliar equipment all day long, just as a regular administrator. And with that, you are most likely going to have to go over and fix, say, the ISP came out, they upgraded a couple lines, they took away a couple circuits, they had to do whatever they had to do. You're going to have to go back over all of their routing to make sure everything's compatible there. And every carrier, every piece of hardware, it's not always going to be compliant. And if they add on to the complexities, like they're having essential or like hosted PBX systems where you don't have the hardware there physically, but everything is routed, it's not as simple as just a network cable going out to some other place. There's actually a significant amount of routing that has to be done internally for that all to work. So if your company is working with many other companies, many other clients, yes, that's going to be a day-to-day thing. If you're in a big office building where everybody and everything's there, that's a different beast altogether.
Yeah. And then, you know, real basic technologies like the entirety of NAT is not covered. The entirety of firewalls is not covered in CCNA.
That's not
And
covered?
I understand it's routing and switching, and you have to go to security, but like for some of those technologies. But I just see like CCNA being the standard that it always has been. It's very narrow in scope to like a large enterprise that needs routing and switching, or I tend to think nowadays that is almost I feel it's not the majority of cases. And I think it's been a good pivot with what Cisco has done with their
Meraki.
certifications recently.
Okay. Well, I was thinking in Meraki, you know, you've got all the portals there now you log into. So you can point and click your way through 80% of the work now without having to ever drop to a command.
Yep, pretty much.
So that's huge. And also, you know, back in the day, 15 years ago, when Cisco only had 3 certs, I mean, Cisco was probably 90+% of all of the switching hardware and anybody that did any serious data, anything, period. Now they're not as much of a player.
Yeah, that is a good point. I do tend to think that the command line interface for all the routers and switches is, I mean, you almost have to copy, you know, Cisco's command line, because that's like the English of the routing and switching language, just about. You could use a Linux-based one, but it's like you can only copy, I think, like it's either 80 or 88% until they can actually, you know, patent troll you.
Well, I mean, you got, you know, projects open there like pfSense and OpenWRT, which would realistically allow you to do anything you wanted and then some. But most companies, they don't want to play around with that, though. They just want a plug-and-play solution. They want to have reliable support, and that's, you know, all there is to it. That's kind of where the buck stops.
That's correct. I'll be right back.
Yep.
It's probably Joe's DoorDash.
Oh, man, I feel like a chud here with a black fucking screen.
I can see a little bit. I remember what you look like.
Uh-oh, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, DoorDash is almost here. I had to go turn the light on.
Oh, man, I'm like tired.
Yeah, you want to call an end of the stream?
Yeah.
Almost in 3 hours.
Yeah.
We got another one to do tomorrow night. So
Yes. Listen, everybody. The 8 people that are watching now, please come back tomorrow. The stream starts at 8 p.m. EST. I understand people have prior obligations and different time zones and whatnot, but we would love to see you guys there. And we will be talking, I don't know, we'll be doing some different stuff tomorrow night. I think we had a really productive stream tonight. Why it went for so long. We talked about, you know, use case versus just bull run. We talked about all of the different dead projects. Hopefully, I'm going to get my hands on a Revify and a block create, which I'm really excited. So that's another video I can make on. It's 3 p.m. here, so 1 p.m. I think 12 p.m. Because it's been 3 hours. So 3 hours, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it should be 12 for you, Mike. But that's going to wrap it up for this stream. It's going to be streaming on my channel, by the way. Or it might just be both channels. We'll figure it out. But I'm waiting for Joe to come back before we actually do end it.
Nice.
Quick math, yes. I'm an accountant, so I gotta be able to do math quickly. I always forget that. How much more of your drive do you have, Patrick?
Oh, I've got about 3 hours till I get home.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. I hope you'll be back tomorrow night and the next 3 nights. Ooh, you have an OnlyFans. I wish I had an OnlyFans. I cannot subject myself to that.
Now Joe is going to
Not
be
yet.
doing. Now we have to end the stream so Joe can record his ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, look who joined.
Try Diggy. Welcome to the stream. Chris
There
Dowd,
you
don't
go.
worry. You'll have an opportunity tomorrow to talk shit to Chris.
That's code for OnlyFans.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So am I the only mod that has not banned him or silenced him or done anything to him?
What's that? Are you the only mod who's not banned him for being a jagoff?
Hey, jagoffs are okay.
I guess. I have quite a few mods.
Yeah, I've noticed. It's like, holy shit, look at all the tools.
Yeah. It's all right. I like to keep everyone engaged. If you're not a dick, I'll make you a mod.
Sweet. Well, you fucked up.
But the downside to having a lot of mods is I actually don't mind the trolls too much. They add entertainment. And I'll let someone go off and talk shit and be a jerk. Respond to them accordingly. And unfortunately, some of the mods, they just want to bring down the hammer hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
So let them have the discretion.
guys.
I don't know. I'm
All right.
pretty close to okay, I'll let you do your thing, man.
Hold on, I'm gonna post a link really quick before we end this chat. Let me find it here.
Chris, what are you posting a link to?
Discord server, so people will be notified as soon as we put the.
Join Blockchain Bay, join Crypto Networks.
I'm sending Joe. Let me get Joe's. But join these two Discord links. You guys will be notified when we. I will make the stream tomorrow morning, so you guys will be notified. And that's going to wrap it up for the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming and supporting. I know it's been a long 3 hours. I'm sure there's a couple people that stick with us the whole way. I know Joe stick with us the whole way. So thanks, Joe, for sticking around.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Patrick.
Always for you, bro.
Thanks, Patrick. Try Diggy. We need you to call in tomorrow
Wayne,
night.
thanks for calling in, even though you're not listening.
Yep. I'm sure he'll rewatch this. This is like a podcast length episode. So that'll do it.
All right, gents. Have a good night.
Talk to you guys later.
Have a night. Peace.